Okay, how we doing out there? First things first, my name is Kenneth Bird. My company is Crystal Edge Technology Screens. Today we're going to be talking about real black technology. Because as I said before, even though the Phantom is being sold on our website, we are still researching to find screens to go against the Phantom because Phantom's not done basically doing its challenge demonstrations. So with having one of the blackest screens on the market because the Phantom is crazy black, producing the same white levels, producing amazing color. We find it interesting that people are now trying to develop black screens. Even people who have denied want to ever go near a black screen is now trying to make a black screen. But as I can see by the demonstrations, there are a lot of tests missing, a ton of tests missing. Number one, Phantoms have been tested on over 18 certified screens. Phantoms have been tested on ultra short throw screens. Phantom has basically been tested at low lumens at 22 feet with certified screens. Phantoms has been tested with distance throw at 22 feet with certified screens, and final tests produced outside images at 1,000 lumens with no problem whatsoever. The problem we have here is, like I said, it's not a problem. When we research these things, research these companies on black screens, we're looking for all kinds of interesting personalities that the screen may have. One of the things I don't see here, oh, and I forgot the two other demonstrations. The black on black, which is basically we take black surface, black fabric, black chalk paint, black paint, and basically try to match it to the product involving white levels and just about everything else, and also color patterns. There is the white test. The white test is where you have to have a white surface behind the screen, white fabric. This is the stuff you have to have when you're doing these demonstrations, when you're doing these tests. But the most important one is black paint. Because at the end of the day, what separates your product from everybody else? Is your product everyday black paint, or is it basically true black technology? And you have to be able to display that by having two containers, as I said, side by side with these two containers. And you must show that both of these, the black paint and the product you have, are equally black and they can't blend. So we haven't seen the black on black paint demonstration yet. I've never seen one. So that's why I said not only this are we researching this individual on his black product, but we're actually researching several others. So when people are saying, well, it's not fair, no. When we are testing the Phantom, we have gone after just about every screen we can go after. We have gone after Elite Screens, DMP Supernova, Seymour AV. So we're going to do certified with no problem. I don't see why we can't go after every screen paint that claims to be a black screen. So either two things: either we buy the product and put it next to the Phantom, or we basically, if the ingredients is exposed, we make the product and basically put it against the Phantom. But as I told you before, that there's a lot of corner cutting. Number one, there's no pattern test. There's no comparison test. There's nothing there. If you're going to compare white levels, the screen needs to be white. Now, the reason why people say, what you said, no. Again, when we developed the Phantom, its purpose was to be the #1 screen. And in order to be a #1 screen, you had to take on everything, which we are doing today. We're actually ordering screen paint products to begin testing on the Phantom's capability of taking on screen paints. Keep in mind, when I launched it, actually Screen already launched into the market, I wanted to have a reputation as being the best. If anyone's going to basically compare themselves and say they're equal to a black Phantom, then they need to be tested next to a black Phantom. So right here, as I said before, you can't do a white level test. The problem I have with this is this screen is not black. This screen technically is gray. That's a gray screen. That is a problem. That is a gray screen. You know why it's a gray screen? You see that funny, interesting mark right there? I told you can analyze the video quick. See that funny, interesting mark right there? This screen is actually gray. Why is that? Because it's the exact same sample sheet that was used. I'm sorry, Crow, but I'm sorry. You developed a black screen, so you're on the list of Phantoms. So it means Phantom's technology is going to go after any screen that's black, and that makes you part of that list. So again, it's business. Don't take it personally, as with everybody else. So this is what we have here. Now, if we go back to the beginning, this is what we do with every company. We do the same research. When we break them down, this is the interesting thing about the sample sheet. This is the exact same sample sheet right here and this demonstration right here. See that funny mark right there? That's the exact same funny mark that the other screen has. That screen is gray. Another thing is too is that you're supposed to do a side-by-side next to black paint. And this is your side-by-side. This is not matching. So we know this is not the product now. This is the actual product you're showing off right here that is claiming to be black. That's not black. That's an actual gray screen. So anybody can see that from there. That's not black. So this is your product right here. The problem we have with that demonstration is it's coming up too dark. It should never produce a contrast level that dark that all of this actually looks like this. If you're saying this is your product, then that can't be your product because that doesn't match this screen at all, period. Clearly, this is black. Clearly, this is actually gray. This right here is light gray. So that's where we start seeing where the screen is not producing actual black level. Come right out of here for a minute. Go back a little bit. I'm pretty sure that those of you who watch our demonstrations know the difference between black and gray. That is not black. That is actually, it's not even a dark gray screen. The UVs come in darker than that. Now, again, like I said, don't take it personally. This is basically, if I'm going to do research against every screen that laid against any one of our technologies from the door, then I have to be able to research their companies. I have to be to study how their screens project in fully lit environments, what kind of projectors they're using, with the distance still with the projector, and if the screen is actually black, which we did that with the DMP Supernova. We had that screen come over here, and the screen wasn't black. It was a very, very dark gunmetal. I knew the Darkstar 9 was a dark gunmetal because we had a Darkstar 9 way before we had these Seymour, way before we had the daylight screens. So that's how we know. We just have to find it. We go watch the demonstration. Some of these screens literally will come up looking black, but when we get them down here, they'll be like a really heavy dark gray. Like the paint on screens. I thought that was a black screen. We got it down and found out it was a very dark gray. But that's not even a dark gray. That is actually gray itself. So how is that passable for jet black? Because that is not jet black. That's jet black. But the problem you have with that screen is pulling up a very, very dirty image. That's an extremely dirty image. So I'm hoping that's not the product. And I'm hoping this is not the product. Because this is not black. This is black. And if this is the screen, that's horrible because that screen right there is pulling up a very dirty image. That image is not supposed to be that dark. Look at this color on the sloth. That's never supposed to look like that. That is really dirty. If that was done on a white level test, it would come up so dark it wouldn't be funny. That is not good. That automatically lets me know from the door that, I hate to say it, I already know how it's made. I can tell how it's made already just by looking at it. No interest in making it, but just telling you that we are going to be researching companies. That's what I do. I go to Screen Innovation, I go to all these big companies, and I break down their videos. I find exactly, okay, they're avoiding this, they're avoiding that in the demonstration, they're not doing this, they're not doing that. All right, we bring it down here. Let's set it up. Let's see exactly how it's going to react. That's how we do it. So everything involves that, including screen paint. So at the end of the day, don't take it personally. You stepped into the area of black technology, and I'm an expert in that field. So now you've made yourself a candidate to be tested against a phantom. There's no point in a phantom going after a gray screen because phantoms can produce white levels as high as gray screens. What we're going after is black screens. And another thing that's missing, you're missing a ton of demonstrations, a ton of them. There is the black on black test, as I said before. You have to test your screen against black fabric, black vinyl, chalk paint, house paint, just about everything to show that your product is different from house paint. I have yet to see that demonstration yet. In that demonstration, you're supposed to have two containers, like I do in mine. Both containers must match the same, but they must be different in front of the projector. That test I haven't seen yet. Certified. You can't compare yourself to a Phantom. A Phantom has been tested over 18 certified screens. Where's your 18 certified screen comparison next to a Phantom? You don't have that. Ultra short throw demonstration, 5 certified screens. Hasn't been done yet. Distance throw at 22 feet at 1,000 lumens, 5 certifies. Wasn't done yet. Low lumen test at 13 to 14 feet, 1,000 lumens, certified. Hasn't been done yet. White demonstration showing white screens, white paper, white certified screens showing high white levels, white only screensavers, white snowstorms, white skin tones, never displayed. You're missing a ton of tests here, buddy. A ton of tests. I don't even know where they're at. I don't know how you're comparing yourself to a Phantom. That's virtually impossible. And like I said, this video is really baffling because how is this, which one of these is supposed to be your screen? Now, I know it can't be this. That's an actual black screen. That's not black. This is not black at all. So I know you're not claiming this to be your screen because that would make this gray, not black. And this can't be your screen because this is so dark. It's coming up so dirty. The image is really, really dirty. I wonder if we did a, oh, that's bad. All right, let me see. Let me put this back here. All right, this is, I told you, it's going to have some issues with white levels like crazy. Look at this. So are you claiming this to be your screen? Because I hope you're not claiming that. And if you're claiming this, this is not black. This is gray. So which one is it? See? That's why the video was deleted the first time. It was deleted off the account. But I'm glad he put it back up here. So now we can analyze it. Now, as you saying that, oh, but this, that, and the other, nobody. I said we go after everybody. When I mean everybody, here you go. See right here? This is an email from Vigastore. We contacted them about testing our product against the Black Phantom, which we already did. And now they're interested in the technology. They want to help us, or do you want us to cooperate? In other words, they're interested in us incorporating that Phantom technology into their screens, which I'm not interested in. I didn't come here to basically join my technology with other companies. I came here to bring in a screen that could dominate everything I can get my hands on to see if we can bring a #1 screen out. That's the whole purpose of Phantom. But yeah, we sent them videos. We sent them videos of the Phantom technology versus their own screen. Contrast levels, colors, the whole 9 yards. So that right there, I'm gonna switch it real quick. Put that back, where you go. Here's your storm right there. I'm going to move it to the side because I have information that you're not supposed to see. But yeah, we contact everybody. Not just them, because I don't want people to think, oh, you're just coming on. No, no, no. Everybody. Everybody who claims to have a black screen. I told you at the end of the day, when we first started developing the Phantom technology, we will be coming for you. We will be doing side-by-sides because I want this screen to be the #1 screen on the market. Why do you think we have so many sample sheets at the kitchen drawer? They're not there basically for show, they're there for test. So if we're going to go after every certified screen we can get our hands on, then screen paints will also be included on that list. And if anyone even mentions the name by saying that, hey, look, we're better than the Phantom, then guess what? You have just challenged the Phantom, which means now you have to back up every test under a Phantom comparing to yours. Now, as I said before, don't take it. This is purchase. This is not purchase, it's business. When your product comes online, we will be purchasing the product to bring down here. If you cancel the order, then that's all we need. We just need a cancellation, or we just need a deny of order to basically move on, which means we're not going to have somebody come in and buy the product. We're not going to do any of that stuff. We just need you to not cancel the order. Because if you cancel order, that shows at the end of the day that your product is nowhere near the technology of a Phantom. We've got denied from a company called Dragonfly. They developed very dark screens. I already thought that screen was black. Conversations with them on the phone, we were denied access to sample sheets, even to buy sample sheets for their screen to bring it down there for testing. Screen Innovation, we have put in an order for a Slate 7, Slate 8 to do side-by-side demonstrations. Purpose, that technology was designed for a Screen Innovation screen. It was strictly designed to take on their technology. But again, they're ignoring us. So basically, we never even got the sample sheets at all. We got the rest of the stuff. We never got that. Paint on screens is supposed to have a black screen. When we got there and we found out it wasn't black, it was actually a dark gray. It still couldn't compete with the technology because the screen can pull a 100% contrast level and the screen can't. So now we're going after screen paint products and we're hunting them down. There's not any on Facebook, not on eBay, but there's a company called NOx. I think it's Knox. They have one. And there's another company that claims to have one. They're a bit pricey, but I'm going to buy it anyway to do a side-by-side on that one too. And then there's you. You put your hat in the ring. So since you put your hat in the ring, it's only fair that we buy your product and bring it down here to go side-by-side with the Phantom. Now, we all know from the door that it's not going to happen. You're going to cancel the order because your product can't compete with the Phantom in no way whatsoever. Mind you, a Phantom can dominate all your products. There's no point in putting it against a light gray screen because this is a technology that was able to overpower the Seymour AV 1.3, the Matinee Silver, Matinee Black, the Matinee 0.9, the Cinema Gray 5D, what's that another one? Oh, DMP Supernova Infinity, both Infinity and Blade. Is able to dominate daylight screens with the Parallax, I'm butchering that, and then the Parallax Pure Silver, which is the 3.0, I think a 3.0, and one is actually a 0.8 or something around that point. Yeah, it was able to dominate all that with no problem. Everything, just about everything in Elite's category was just dominated by that screen. Ultra short throw test, ceiling light rejection 1, 2, and 3, Vivistorm's technology, their ultra short throw, the long throw screens, all done with no problem. As a matter of fact, I'm about to shoot a video in a few minutes showing our technology side by side next to Vivistorm and send them the video so they can see how our technology compares to theirs, which I have their sample sheets downstairs right now. But judging by what I'm seeing in your demonstrations, your product is dark gray paint. So what you need to do is you need to do a true black paint demonstration, not this fake nonsense right here. I don't know what this is. This is fake. I'm sorry. You cut a lot of corners in here. Number one, your surface is way too small. This is a cookie cutter size. You need a surface at least about 92 inches. We do ours on 92 inches on black screen. So you have to be way bigger than this. You need 92 inch on that so people can see a large portion of that screen. And I don't know, I hope you're not claiming this to be your screen, because that's really, really dirty. That comes out the same complexion of a UB right there. That tells me at the end of the day when I'm looking at this that there is white and black paint in this. It's a flip, so it's a reversal like the UB. Instead of you having the what you call it, the white base first, the black base is first, and it's probably about one. No, I'm sorry, so I'm going to do that. I'm not going to break it down, because I know what's in it. I know how it's made. I can make it here right now. Exact duplicate of it. But I'm not going to do that. Nope. No. I promise myself we're not going to do that. All right. So moving on. So bottom line is this right here can't be a product. That's coming up way too dark. And the way you ridicule black screens, this is how you display them. Just like this all the time. Anytime you ridicule someone's black screen, this is how you display them. This can't be the product, because this and this don't look the same. And the thing about this, see this interesting mark right here? Right there, that interesting mark right there. How come you don't have this painted up on a larger scale? That's not a, I've seen the one outside. The one outside is complete fail. The problem with the one outside is the star field at the bottom. It's pulling up gray at the bottom. It's not supposed to look like that at all. Not supposed to have that gray at the bottom. Like I said, don't take it personally, but you will, but it doesn't make a difference. Your product will be down here for testing against the Phantom. Now, like I said, if you deny the order, we'll take it as basically you don't want to go against it. We chalk it up as basically you are scared of the screen. That's what we put it down as. Anyone who denies that they're going next side by side with technology, we just look at it as in you don't want to go near the screen. That's all. We're not going to force you to do it. That'd be wrong. Let me show you right here. But I don't know why you still have that same small sample sheet. And if you've already, you should wait, see right there. There we go. Your screen's coming up two different colors. It's coming up one color here, and then it's what is this right here? What in the world is all this right here on the screen? That's the same mark that was on the other sampler sheet that I just showed you in the video. And why do you have a gray screen next to it? A gray screen should never ever be there. If you're going to compare a black screen, there should be a white screen there. Always should be a white screen there. Because what you're proving when it comes to a black screen, I'm trying to teach them on this. When you're proving when it comes to a black screen does not have to worry about its gray level. It has to worry about its white level. So it always has to be next to a white surface so you can see the difference between the two. Like when we take a Phantom, we go screen up, screen down, white screen, black screen, white screen, black screen. You have to be to show the difference, because people, when they look at black screens, the first thing they think is they can't produce white levels. You should know this, since you basically spent most of your time slandering black screens. I find this even more interesting, people, that I told y'all, and I explained to y'all at the end of the day, I told you that this stuff right here, this gray screen paint product, is obsolete. I told y'all that. It's an old screen paint product. I told you that. And the only way that he is going to be able to survive in the world of home theater, he's going to have to try to switch over. And I said, try to switch over to a black screen. This is coming from the same individual that ridiculed black screens as being so dark and worthless and this, that, and the other. And you shouldn't buy them. It's a waste of your time. And yet now he's trying to make one. As I said before, that when I tell you that black technology is the future, you have to understand that I was right the entire time. So by trying to attempt to do this clearly shows that you are admitting that I am right, that black technology is the future. So how do you go about doing this now? You can't ridicule black screens because now you're trying to make a black screen. And you can't basically say that your product is better, because now you're putting your own product against a black screen, trying to show that where the black screen's better. Isn't that interesting? So you're kind of doing what I've been doing for quite a long time. That makes you, at the end of the day, a hypocrite. I mean, like I said, people say, why would I be threatened? No way in the world. You can't match any of the demonstrations under the technology we have here. You can't match any of the demonstrations under Phoenix. Phoenix had been tested with over 18 certifies. A Phoenix can pull up outside at 551 on a 720p projector at over 27 feet away from the screen. At 190-degree viewing angle, it can whip up a Starfield demonstration. No gray screen can do that on the planet. Not even a white screen can compete with that screen. And you're talking about a Phantom that's 4 times darker than a Phoenix? No. No. So the thing we have here is, people, that this is, I would never thought I would see this day come. I don't know which is more entertaining. And by the way, just to let you know, I can read Spanish. My friends are basically Dominicans, Mexicans, and Puerto Ricans. So I know what negra means. It means black already. So you can write stuff in Spanish all you want. At the end of the day, I really don't care if you're trying to hide it from me, thinking I don't know, but I do know quite a lot of my friends are Spanish. But but anyway, I dated a Dominican for 5 years, so trust me, I know. But look at this. But as you can see right here, yeah, see how the screen changes? A black screen always remains black no matter what. Those are black screens, real 100% black screens. They don't change. They remain black no matter what. That is not black. This has one color here, and then we have another color. I don't know what this is, I'll tell you the truth. Then we have another, I don't know what this is, across the screen here. What is, does anybody question this stuff? What is this? What is that? Why is why is it black here, but it's light here, right in there and around there? There's something wrong with that. That's gray. That is actually gray. So what you need to do is, before you start trying to call yourself making a black screen to begin with, what you need to do is you need to display this on that surface right there, or get a surface as big as this. And then what you need to do is you need to get black paint, flat black paint, not semi-gloss, flat black paint, and paint it right down the side, or paint a huge square and put it against your screen So you can show the difference between that and black paint. But not only that, you must show the liquid form first and then show the screens as they dry. What's the difference? Because if we get it down here, and if it doesn't, well, we're not going to have it down here. We all know what's going to happen. The order is going to be canceled or denied. Now, mind you, like I said, this is for test purposes versus well, actually challenge versus technology. This is what we're going to be doing. You can't, at the end of the day, people have to understand, oh, no. At the end of the day, you can't claim a product to be the best unless you don't have the rank to back it up. If anybody says, well, what about your screen against elite screens? Which one? DMP Supernova? Which one? Vivid Storm? Which one? We've done all these tests already. Not hard to do. But the thing about it is, that screen right there is not gray. It's not black. It's actually gray. That's a gray screen. And I don't know why he keeps doing the comparison next to a gray screen. Any dark gray screen product, matter of fact, the mix we made downstairs, the UV mix we made downstairs will do the same reaction. We'll have the exact same reaction, just like that, next to a gray screen. White level's too low. See that? Way too low. Well. Why is your screen gray here? Let's go in here. I could do the same thing with black paint. The exact same thing. We did it already. The exact same thing. You have to do a white level test. You're not doing your white level test, which means at the end of the day, your screen is coming up gray. That's how we know your screen's gray. Black screens remain black all the way through. There's none of this in a black screen at all, period. You won't see any of that in a black screen. They remain black all the time. That's what black technology looks like. I love how I've been an expert in this field for over 8 or 9 years. And this is supposed to be acceptable. No. If it's acceptable, it would have no problem. Yeah, definitely gray. Nah, you got to do a black on black demonstration. Let me show you how we do it. Let me show you how it's done. Because apparently people don't understand how you do this. These are how you do black screen tests. And there's a lot of them. So, here, first of all, see that screen outside? A black screen will always display black when it's outside, no matter what. It never comes up gray. But let me show you how black tests are done. This right here is this is our, this is the, what do you call it? We call this right here? The Phoenix outside. See what time of the day is? It's 5:51 in the evening. Notice the screen has no tannish discoloration, gray around the screen. A black screen, no matter what, is going to produce a 100% black level outside. It would never turn gray. Never. It's black. Black screens are designed to absorb light. See this right here? This is black paint versus our technology. This is what you're supposed to be able to display. You see that white level right there on that screen? So this technology is ours right here. This is our black screen right there. See that? When I looked at your screen and I saw that slight darkness in there, that's how I knew that, number one, it's a great, I can tell you what's in it. I don't want to say what's in it, but I know what's in it and I know why it's reacting that way. Black and white paint reacts that way. It always does. It can't pull white levels. It has issues with it. So this right here is black paint. This right here, on this side right here, is gray. It's a gray screen right there. See, it's a gray screen. This is our black level right here versus the gray screen versus black house paint. That's how high your white levels have to be. And they have to be on a solid white level. So you're doing a sprinkling of colors. That doesn't work. You have to do solid whites. Oh, man. They skip these demonstrations. And these demonstrations have to be done live, by the way. All have to be done live. See right here? This is the color red pattern versus black paint. When you do the demonstration, it has to be done on a solid white level to show where your white levels come in next to black paint. That's another demonstration that was skipped. That demonstration was done on a gray screen. You can't compare that to a gray screen because a gray screen is not going to pull a 100% white level. The only thing that's going to pull a 100% white level is going to be a white surface. If you're going to be testing your product versus black, you're going to have to show a solid white level, not sprinkling of colors. Like I said, it doesn't baffle me that I have to come in here and do these demonstrations because they don't know how to do them right. Again, how high the white levels come up under our technology, there you go. See, if a company comes up to me and says, hey, what's the difference between your product and black paint? I can back it up 100%. But by judging by what I've seen in your video demonstrations, you still have not done the black paint versus your product. You've been avoiding that, which shows me at the end of the day, if a person is avoiding that one demonstration, it means their product is literally made out of black paint and will match the black paint. That's why. I'm not going to request you to do it. We gave you the challenge. We gave you the challenge to do it, and you never did it. You did some demonstration where you had this black screen. It wasn't even a black screen. It was a gray screen next to some black screen. The black screen was putting up dirty images. I'm like, what the heck is going on in this thing? Like, where's the demonstration? It was a simple demonstration. All you had to do was just take a black container of paint, your product, show both products in a liquid form, paint one side of it with black paint, paint the other side, and do the demonstration. I don't know what the heck that was all about. But this is what happens when people cut corners. So when people do that, when they actually cut those corners, the first thing that pops in my mind is, that's black paint. It's black and white paint. Why would you avoid that to begin with if it wasn't so? Where I can come on here and say, look, black paint, our product, they both look the same. Here's my product, dries differently. This is my product versus black paint. And voila. Straight into the point. No cutting corners, nothing. Straight into the point. Got to be able to back it up. All right, come out of this real quick. We have to do a black on black test. Now, a black on black test basically is where you just find random pieces of black screens. Has to be tested, has to be done. This is where I told you that the screen is gray. The first time I told you when I first saw the demonstration, something was wrong. The screen was gray. Black screens do not come up with a faded gray bar at the bottom. Sorry I got to do this to you, man, but see right here? That's the problem. Your screen is displaying gray. A black screen, even if the picture is crap, is always going to display black. It's like the equivalent of you buy a black t-shirt, and if you walk out into, let me get the actual video. If you walk out into the sun, your t-shirt is not going to change. It's still going to be black, regardless. Really got to stop doing fake demonstrations. You really do. If you're going to do this demonstration correctly under black technology, this is what you need to do. You need to get a huge screen, about 92 inches. It'd be 90-inch screen. Paint half of that black with black paint. Paint the other half for your product and display a solid white level only to compare the two. That's what you need to do. Because a black screen is always going to pull a contrast. So it could be any color. It's going to pull contrast up with no problem whatsoever. This is where you made the second mistake, third mistake. And for those of you who want to think this is personal, no, it's not personal, it's business. As I told you before, if I'm going to claim any one of my products to be the best of the best, then we're going after everybody. No stone will be unturned. I'm sorry, but I don't know how you guys think. I don't know, some people, the naysayers, I don't know how y'all function, how y'all think. If I'm going to be claimed to be the best boxer in the world, I can't claim to be the best boxer in the world unless you fight the best boxers in the world. That's how that works. I swear, this is an era of cutting corners. It is, it really is. Nobody believes in hard work anymore. Let's cut corners. Let's find an easier way to do it. That is sad. That's really sad. So when you come against an old school person like me that's believing doing things by the book and not cutting corners, this is why your products get crushed so fast. Oh, this freaking ambient light controlled environment and high performance projectors. Your projectors do all the work. We use these dinky low end projectors, fully lit environments. We do stuff that y'all don't even do. That's why y'all don't pass any of our tests. That's why our products always remain to be the best. We can talk and say that because we can back it up. I can come and show you in archives. I can go back to way back to the past and show you demonstrations where I was developing technology, where I had companies under my belt. Please, come on now. This is why I sit here and I get frustrated on camera. Like, give me a freaking challenge. But no, too big. Even the big companies cutting these corners. It's sad. It's really sad. This is what the projection industry is. This is what it's about, and it's been this way before he came into the picture. Way before he came into the picture, it was like that. Way before that. Way before that. Before he ever came to the picture, he just adds to it. Y'all don't want to do things by the book. The inflatable projection screen, I'm not even going to comment on that because I know the outcome of that. I tested so many inflatable screens, it's not even funny. I already know the outcome. I even had a contract with a company over in Jersey for inflatable screen setups. Yeah, I've been there, done it already. But I'll show you right here. If that wasn't basically removed off the channel. Here it is right here. Now you have to understand, you put your hat in the ring the minute you said that you were going to, I don't even know how that even works. How do you ridicule black technology, but yet you want to be a part of black? I don't get that, people. But whatever, I told you I was right. Did I not say years back, did I not say from the door? See, that's a gray screen. That's how we know it's gray. No black screen pulls up that way. That's clearly gray. And it's sad because the people that are commenting don't even know the difference between black and gray. You let me know the next time you wear a black t-shirt and you walk outside and it looks like this as you're walking around. It doesn't. Black always remains black no matter what. If it's true black, it doesn't come up looking like that. That's how we knew. That's how I could tell you from the door. That black bar at the bottom is supposed to be jet black. And that's why the video was deleted off the channel. The first time when he showed it, the video was deleted off his account. He put it back on, which I'm glad he did because I wanted to analyze the video a little bit more. So this is the product that he's claiming to be a jet black screen. Now, if it's a jet black screen, like I said, you should be to show a difference between that product and everyday black paint. Or, like I said, we'll order it, bring it down here and put it next to a Phantom and see how it goes side by side to the Phantom. But like I said, we are accepting, now like I said, if he decides to cancel the order, we accept that. We're not going to go down and have somebody buy it. It's no point. We're expecting for people to cancel out next to a Phantom. We expect for people to cancel or deny or ignore it because for us, that's a win. That's a win right there for us because at the end of the day, it just shows they don't want to go next to that screen. Mind you, if we couldn't get sample sheets from some very big companies that didn't want to go near that screen, what makes you think that would even pass? Right now, as I showed you before, my email, right now, we were contacted by Vivistorm today. Vivistorm, we sent them demonstrations on the black technology. I clearly said to them right there, we tested your technology. We tested it. And it's a black Phantom screen. There is no contest. The black Phantom is much better. That's it. Show them the demonstrations, everything on their product. Their product is much more advanced than yours. And now they want either for us to, how can we help you, or how can we cooperate with you as we work with you? We're not interested. We're not interested in working with anybody. The screen was developed to do one thing, to be the number one. Why in the world would I even give you the advancement technology of a Phantom embedded in one of your screens when that's going to be competition for us? No, we're not interested. But this is what you have to get back. A big company, if they feel that your product is worth something, will take the time to contact you. If not, they won't bother with you. They don't really care at the end of the day. They're making their money. They don't care. But if you got something of interest that they like, they'll contact you. Let's talk. Let's just push this around, see what we can get. Same thing we went through with screen innovation. If you got something that they like and it catches their eye, it rattles their cage, like, whew, man, that thing ever gets out, if that thing ever gets gets backed by excuse me, a corporation, we're done. If that thing ever gets the market, we need to get rid of that thing before it gets on the market, because that thing's going to dominate everything it hits. There you go. That's the purpose of the Phantom technology, to bring out technology that was so advanced that bottom line is these big companies, it would rattle their cage. Because I watched all their demonstrations, all of them. All their demonstrations, I've watched them. This is the only way. But like I said, on his end, no, he needs to do that black paint test. I'm sorry, but you need to do that black paint test. You need to do that. And I've got letters from Seymour AV. I've got court orders from companies. Yeah, I've been there, done that already. You have to be to show that you can rattle a cage, that your technology is so good that, mind, they at the time, they think their stuff is the best of the best of the best. Until they look down and see that video and go, what the freak is that? There you go. That's an actual super black screen. Oh, you know it's coming. Crow boys will leave the room. The naysayers will leave the room when they see this coming. You know what this document is, don't you? Oh, look at it. When you start getting recognition like this, then you can talk. We're going to be outside today at 12 o'clock in Invisible Technology in the backyard. At 12 o'clock. Yes, I said 12 o'clock. That technology can do that. There you go. Then you start getting letters like this. Yeah, I stand correctly. I've been contacted by Optima. I've been contacted by several large companies on my technology. And this is way back in 2015, right around the time when I started developing a company in a digital 4K crystal onyx, which was black technology. That's how far my black technology goes back. My black technology is so advanced. It was so advanced in 2015. We caught the eye of this company right here. And our technology is way beyond that now. And we even, again, trying to go around the second time, and they ignore this second time around. To the point where they got a lawyer for us to back down. Now, you know why that they're ignoring us, and I'll tell you why. This was a big mistake on their behalf. They should have never paid us any mind at all, period. First of all, they should have never sent us this to begin with. They should have never sent this to us to begin with. Now, the email, yeah, because they were interested. But this right here, they should have ignored this at all costs. Because now this is a trophy to us. We can use this anytime we want. Anytime somebody comes like, hey, well, what about your product versus screen innovation? Boom. There you go right there. This is where they contacted us, talking, we're having good communications. And when we didn't want to do something that was required, then because we didn't want to do something that they wanted us to do, an NDA was required. Because we couldn't get the NDA, we decided we didn't want to do it. And then we kept doing tests on their products, then they got upset. So at the end of the day, like I said, me being a guy in a small little room and starting my business off and stuff like that, to them, this became a way of a bully tactic to make me get rid of me, so I don't do any demonstrations against their products anymore. But at the end of the day, never called y'all scammers, never said your products were fake, never said this to any other. I just did a side-by-side demonstration, and I figured out something interested in one of your screens. Your screens have, one of your screens, which is a black diamond, has something called a narrow viewing cone effect, which means if the camera moves to the left or the right, the screen becomes dark, which means the projector will have to be centered with the screen at all times, which I see that a lot with screens using that really strange reflective material. But this time around, I'm a lot smarter. This time around, you're not going to bully me into basically sending me one of these letters at the end of the day, because I'll have my attorneys contact you. So it was different then because I was young. I'm not young, I was still in my 30s or something like that. But and being in that small little room and just starting off and being contacted by this company was like amazing. You know what I mean? Especially when I was so fascinated by their technology. But to have them send me this at the end, knowing that all I did was a side-by-side demonstration, and at the end I didn't want to get sued, but I didn't do anything wrong. Like if I came in and said, oh yeah, they're scammers and they're stealing from people and don't buy from them, this, that, and the other, and I'm doing demonstrations making their products look blacker than what they are, then yeah, you can sue me for this. You can take me to court, you can sue me, because I can't back up this claim that your product actually does this. But if I'm not doing any of this at all, period, I'm just doing a basic side-by-side, and I'm not like everybody else does. Everybody else on YouTube does demonstrations versus their products, and you don't go sue them, then what did I do that was wrong? No, my screen was competition for them. That's what it was. That's what it became down to be. My screen became competition. So, like I said, at the end of the call, I said, we're going to bump his sooner or later, which is right around now. And I said that if you think this stuff is amazing, man, years from now, man, we're going to have an actual black screen that's pretty much going to wipe out anything you have. And here we are now with the Phantom. And what did I do? I put in a request. I sat there and said, I strictly designed this screen just for you guys. Did we get our sample sheets? No. But this time they were smart. They ignored me. They didn't engage me, which was actually kind of smart to do. Because if you had sent me back a letter telling me that, oh, no, so-and-so and so, oh, yes, I would have definitely used that against you. No, yes, I would have. Definitely, especially when you did this to me. But yeah, I was ticked off over this because they bullied me. Because I didn't know my rights. But yeah, try that nonsense again and see what happens. Yeah, I'll definitely have an attorney contact you as soon as possible. Because at the end of the day, if I'm doing a side-by-side demonstration and I'm doing nothing wrong at all, I'm not saying anything bad about your product at all, and you still hit me with one of these, yeah, I'll see you in court, no problem. And then if you really don't want the publicity of basically showing my screen can dominate your product, we can back it up, we can show it in court, we can do a side-by-side demonstration, anything you want. See, the difference between me and you, sorry, Crow, I have to mention your name in this, is that I don't back down. You give me a challenge, I'm gonna go straight for it because I have confidence in my product 100%, even against a company that has attorneys that can pretty much probably send out anything they want. I don't back down from that. But now this became, at the time when I got hit with this, you know, I did pull down the videos and everything. I did keep certain files, but I did because I backed everything up. But I did pull down the videos, but this became their nightmare because they should have never sent this to me to begin with because I didn't do anything wrong. They did it as a bully tactic. Yep. So yeah, I have been there and done that already. Been there, done it already. In 2015. So that's why I said that you have to show the real deal. If you have the real deal, then you will catch the attention of the real deal. Oh, didn't know Mr. Bird had files like that. Mr. Bird has a lot of files. He has a lot of files. He does. So now we have Vivistorm. XY screens, yes, I have conversations with XY screens, the company that claims to have this black crystal screen. I've talked to them, I've sent them over videos, they saw the Black Phantom, and the conversations ended quickly. They're done. They have ended quickly due to the fact that they're not going against that screen. So, as I said before, I don't want people to think, oh, you're just going after this one individual. No, we're going after everybody on Black Phantom. I mentioned that already multiple times. And here we are responding back to them right here, letting them know that I'm not interested in basically their products. Backing it up. And right there, we have tested our screens with more than 18 certified screens, including DMP Supernova, Elite Screen, Seymour, AV, Daylight Screens, and more, which we have downstairs, done and tested. Any demonstration they want, we can send it over to them with no problem whatsoever, which I did send a couple of demonstrations on top of that. There's the demonstration of inside the house. There's a demonstration of outside the house. You see, and then at the end of the day, they're going to send me another email. And in that email, they're going to basically request for if we want to partner or work together. Not going to happen. Not interested. See right here, this is one of the tests you're supposed to do. This right here is called a black on black test. So a black on black test is basically where you take black fabric, black paint, whatever. You have to show a solid white level, and you have to show the difference between your product and another black surface, which will come up quite often when you're developing black screens, because people will think at the end of the day, all I have to do is just get a black sheet or black fabric or any kind of black material, and I can duplicate the exact same thing you're doing in your screen paint. And you have to prove that, no, you cannot do that. Where's this test? You don't have this test on your site at all. So where's the test? Now in this demonstration, I show you how anybody can take everyday black paint and black fabric and duplicate the exact same thing, which he displayed in this video. See? I can do the same thing. The exact same thing you just displayed in your video, which is supposed to be very impressive, a black screen. I could do that easily with black fabric with no problem. See the difference? This is what you have to be able to back up. This is what you're missing from your demonstration. You're missing quite a lot from your demonstration, more than that. Can't cut corners. When you cut corners and you bump into a fellow like me who doesn't, and I touch your product, it will get wrecked down here. I'm lying to you not. It will not pass because our tests are brutal. This is what our black screens have to go through. That's black paint. That's black fabric on a white next to it, showing off, displaying a white screensaver. That's what you're going to have to do. See that right there? I can take black fabric and black paint and I can mimic your own screen paint that you have over there right now. I can display the exact same thing. Unless you show me there's a difference between the jet black fusion versus a black paint and a black surface, your product is what it is, black paint, because I can do the exact same video you just did. You have to show a difference. Anybody can do that. For the same contrast levels, everything. That's a Phantom's white level. That is everyday black fabric right there. Does the exact same thing your screen paint does. Same thing. That's black paint right there. Does the exact same thing. So what you're showing in the jet black fusion, all you're doing is just showing a product that's matching black paint and black fabric, because they're doing the exact same thing your product's doing. The only thing is that that screen is actually darker than when we pull up for the Phantom. You have to be to show a difference. You have to. Not at the end of the day, like I said, anybody can take a black sheet, do the same thing you're doing in your demonstration, no problem. Not hard to do. Now watch this. See the difference? Yeah, Phantom pulls a higher white level. That's why a Phantom next to your product will crush your product in white levels. Phantom pulls an extremely high white level. I can mimic your exact same demonstration off black fabric easily. But black fabric can't match our technology. But that screen looked pretty bright, didn't it? It looked bright on a standalone by itself. That's why you got to have the comparisons. This is why I explained to you have to have comparisons. Because on a standalone by itself, you would think you were looking at an amazing black screen, that the colors were nice and bright and it was white. No, the screen's dirty. That's why I can look at a screen. If I tell you a screen is dirty, it's dirty. If I tell you a screen is faded, it's faded. Because we know, because we don't cut corners. So if I'm looking at that screen and I tell you that's a dirty screen, it's a dirty screen. Now, if I'm looking at this screen right here, I'm telling you that is a dirty surface right there. You're looking at that. I know, Ken, I don't see anything wrong with that. That surface was clean. No, it's dirty. There you go. That's the clean surface right there. Again, expert in the field. I know exactly when I look at a screen, if it's dirty, it's dirty. That's why I can look at the demonstration here he did and show you that, no, his screen came up dirty. Just like when I tell you that the colors are faded and washed out, colors are faded and washed out. And the only way he's going to be to prove that his product is what it is, he's going to have to pass all the tests. We should have, like I said, our test should be the standards for screen paint. It literally should be. Really should be. A lot of you not. Have you seen this test done? Let me know if you've seen this test done. This is how you test your white levels on a higher level. You cover the entire screen with a white screen. I love this demonstration here. This is fun. Have you seen this test done yet? I told you it has to be done on a 92 or higher to do this. That's why I sit there and say that they can't match our demonstration. It's a cutting corners. That's it. Oh, yeah. You ever seen that demonstration done on his channel before? Nah. Can't do it. The screen's not going to pull up. I guarantee you it's black paint. Black paint's going to have an odd reaction to a white screen. You know what black paint looks like when it lays against a white screen when it tries to pull a white level? It comes up really, really bad because now you're dealing with a surface that can pull a 100% white level next to a surface that is jet black. There's going to be problems. Unless you have heightener technology, which he doesn't have. That's why you never saw this demonstration done on his channel. If anyone's going to sit there and claim, at the end of the day, please listen up when I say this. If you're ever going to claim that your product is anywhere near next to ours, or you can make our product that easy, then you need to pass our demonstrations exactly the way they're done. When I sat there and said side by side next to black paint, I don't know what the heck that demonstration was. There's no side by side next to the black paint at all in any of the demonstrations. Not one. When you're testing your white levels are done on gray screens. Why are you doing it on gray screens? A gray screen doesn't produce 100% white level. That big, huge screen going back and forth across my screen is white. Gotta stop faking demonstrations. Look at this. Because I guarantee you, if your product gets done here, I'm gonna hit it with black paint. See, look. Well, what? Look, watch. Just watch that. That was done live, by the way. Yeah, you wouldn't. Again, they don't even match your demonstration. Even we can make that a challenge. I could literally make any of the test demonstrations we do under Phantom a challenge. They would never be met. The challenge that we was giving to do a screen outside at 13 feet at 1,000 lumens is an everyday final test for any one of the screens. All of them have to do it, every last one of them. So something that is a final test for us is a challenge for others. They can't even do it. Yeah, that's a gray screen paint product right there. Sorry about that, buddy, but I'm just showing you this. Don't get upset. You're going to get angry, upset, but it is what it is. You have to stop cutting corners. So there's the screen right there, showing off what produces true red. We got a white screen. We have a gray screen paint products here. Everybody, when we watch it, think they're seeing actual red. Like, no, you're not seeing red. This is washed out. That's not red. That's red. There you go. Got to be to back it up. Now look how fast this screen now has faded. Before, this screen looked like it was pulling up a really good red level right there. Right there. Let me see. Now it's put up a really good red level. But once, let me show you the height and the white levels of the technology. Now, mind you, not to be rude here, but see the big screen? We made that screen paint. We made it. That's one of the ones I made by basically when I broke it down, when I showed you how many teaspoons of that. We made that one. This is his product laying against it. This is the white screen right here, and this right here is our technology there. You got to be to back all that up, man. The thing about it is, I mean, look, ain't nobody trying to tell you that you can't make a black screen. You probably could make one, but you're going about it the wrong way. You're doing the same cut corner tactics that you do with your gray screen paint products, except for black screens, man. Like I said, I'm an expert in both fields, man. You just cutting too many corners. You're not doing your demonstrations correctly. Where's your black on black test under 1,000 lumens? You don't even have that. If I was a company, I literally would be asking you all these questions. You couldn't even answer one of them back. Period. You're supposed to be doing a test on, there's the challenge we did outside, which was you never did that one at all, period. And mind, it's a basic test for any one of the screens that have to go through that. They have to be to produce outside. And like I said, even at that, that's too small for us. They have to be bigger than that. See how the color comes up? So now I was telling you that, and I'm explaining to you that when a screen comes up, It remains black at all times. It does not turn gray. Never turn gray. Even if it's true black. If it's not true black, it comes up gray. That's why the first demonstration when I saw it, I said, oh, that screen's gray. And then when I came back in and he did the demonstration, showing his product next to black paint, because there's two reasons why we ask that. If your screen's not 100% black, it's not going to match the black paint at all, because black paint is always going to be black. And the other one we ask for is the fact that people have to know the difference whether or not they're buying a real screen paint or if they're buying actual black paint. That's another one. And the fact that you have avoided those two tests for this long clearly shows that your product is black paint, because no one would avoid that. I wouldn't avoid that. Someone came to me and said, hey, between your product and black paint, oh, I got you. Paint, we're done. I did multiple demonstrations on that one. Yeah, I got no problem backing that up. I even did a demonstration where I actually painted my name into the screen using black paint versus our technology showing a white level only. You have to be to back that up. See right there? This is where I wrote Ken right in the screen. So the cardboard box is painted with our technology. This is a black on black test. Black on black test is done in two different ways. We do it at 4,000, and we do it at 1,000 lumens. So the screen is displaying a white screensaver only. The surfaces that we throw up against it have to be able to, our screen has to be able to pull a higher white level than a black surface laying against it. Showing our screen pulls a higher white level. There's a difference between our product when it comes to black material, fabric, and so forth. You have to be to show that. I gotta order me some chalk paint too for another demonstration. Because yeah, people are going to accuse you at the end of the day. And keep in mind, this is an individual who has accused our products of being nothing more than black paint. That we were scamming people. That we were selling them nothing but black paint. Isn't it interesting that how things have flipped around now? Because, you know, what comes around goes around. And now you're trying to make a black paint, which is kind of sad because, like I said, at the end of the day, this is a person who ridiculed black technology and said it was this, that, and the other, is now trying to be a part of it. But now it's the other way around, because now I get to answer you all the questions about your product and how we test things now. So again, how do we know your product is nothing more than black paint? You have to be able to back that up. Isn't that interesting? That's two white sheets of paper laying against my screen. Anytime you test your screen, you have to, on white levels, it always must be done on a white surface. As I showed you with the large white screen, as I showed you with the white sample sheets that I'm throwing against my screen right now. Where's these tests at? Not even done. So how is the customer going to know where your white levels lay at if you don't display it? So when I saw your demonstration on your test here, you didn't have any of these screens up here laying against your screen. You had a gray screen. Gray screens don't produce high white levels. This is where you're, let me see. Gotta really stop cutting these corners, man. Really gotta stop cutting these corners. That's not good. Okay, I'm gonna show you right here. Now let's see if your demonstrations match my demonstrations. So already we have our screen in a room at 92 inches. You have your screen here less than 92 inches. When you're doing your demonstration against a gray surface. This is a gray surface that basically is not going to be to prove your screen's white levels at all. We have our screen at 92 inches, our projector sitting back 13 to 14 feet. We are doing the demonstration against several white certified screens and white paper. But all you displayed here was you actually hurt yourself, and I'll tell you why. Because you don't have the test demonstrations back in your product being what it is, you just showed your customers how they can just take black paint. And if that is everyday black paint, you just showed them how to take everyday black paint and outperform your own product at the end of the day, which I said would not have the ability to pull a contrast level to save its soul, which it can't, because the background of this is supposed to be black. Even at dark gray, this is pulling up a much better image than your mixes you have here that you claim. Is this the Cinemax? Oh, I know you didn't put that against the Cinemax. Didn't you claim that the Cinemax could pull the exact same contrast level as a Phoenix? So what happened here? Because right here, I know this demonstration by heart. The background of that is black. So what happened to the Cinemax? Because the Cinemax should be pulling, if the Cinemax does what you claim it does, you said it pulls a contrast level equal to a Phoenix, it should be blending that screen perfectly right there in those contrast levels. You actually, I don't know, people don't you figure it out for yourself. You figure it out for yourself. Mind, this is an individual who canceled an order multiple times on the Cinemax. We wanted to put it side by side to a Black Phantom because, not Black, but the Phoenix, because he claimed that the Cinemax could produce contrast levels equal to a black screen. Now, you have this black paint, which is not black, it's actually gray, but you have this kind of dark paint here that if you look at it, how come the Cinemax is not pulling the exact same contrast level as this product right here if you made this statement that this product could do so? This is why you never rush off into battle without a strategist. Good way to get your entire army murdered at the end of the day. Yeah, this is a whole nother segment on its own right there. So at the end of the day, this is the reason why you did cancel orders coming to the Cinemax, because you knew at the end of the day you lied. There's no way in the world that your Cinemax you claim could pull a contrast level equal to a black screen. As I said before, when we gave them the challenge, we told them to take the Cinemax outside. You can use black paper, black paint, anything you want. Do a Starfield demonstration and blend it. It was never done. And there you go, you just did it yourself. You just literally did it yourself, trying to prove that you can make a black screen. But the problem here, even with your black screen, you have failed because, as I said before, you can't do a comparison unless you have a white surface there. But even with this, clearly shows that you actually lied to your customers, because you stated that the Cinemax could pull a contrast level equal to a black screen. It can't even pull a contrast level equal to basically a dark gray screen paint product, which you're showing here. Keep in mind all the while when we were explaining to y'all that black technology is the best, that it is the future of technology, that the gray screen paint products are obsolete and should not be purchased, and not even at the price they're going for, that black technology is better. Even darker technology, gunmetal, darker screens are more expensive, more advanced, more better. He just showed you this right here and didn't realize he was showing you that at the same time. See, in his mind, he's convinced that he's going to make a black screen equal to ours. Hey, look, if you do, hey, knock yourself out. It's no big deal to me. I'm contracted. I have so many contracts right now. We're collecting their belt. You couldn't catch up with me if you wanted to. So I'm guaranteed. I'm already there. I've done my time, my research. In order to get to that point, you're going to have to put time, research, and testing in. And I'm not talking about fake testing, cutting corners. You're going to have to show hardcore tests that your product actually works. And that takes time to do. You can't just come out here and do it overnight. And this is why you deleted videos. This is why your product's coming up gray. This is why you're not matching our demonstrations. This is why. I'm an expert in the field. So keep in mind, if you're going to try to basically keep up to what I'm doing, you're going to have to match what I'm doing, because everything I do, it's going to outperform your product. And if we bring this product down here, I guarantee two things are going to happen. Either it's going to fail, or you're going to cancel because you know it's not going to run. It's not going to go against the Phantom or any of our dark technology, because technically at the end of the day, your screen's not black. It's actually gray. That's why you haven't done the paint test yet. That should have been the first test you should have done from the door, because you being a person accusing other black screens of being nothing but black paint should have did the same thing to your product, knowing that there are people like you out there that do that. The fact that you haven't done that test yet clearly shows at the end of the day, your product is nothing more than black paint, unless you could back it up, and you haven't backed it up yet. But even more interesting, the fact that you lied about your Cinemax when you sat there and told your customers that, hey, this screen could pull up heavy contrast levels equal to a Phoenix. You're not even pulling up contrast levels equal to what you have here. Look how faded and washed out the screen is here. Look how faded and washed out. So at the end of the day, you have proven me right when I sat there and told you all that darker technology, black technology is the future, and this stuff is obsolete the entire time when he was selling you this product and telling you that it wasn't. Yeah. It's like hanging yourself and paying someone to kick out the chair for you. That's pretty much what you did. I didn't think about that. I said, wait a minute, that's the Cinemax system there, isn't it? Isn't that the same screen he claimed to be to pull a contrast level equal to a black screen? You can't even pull one equal to a gray screen. But yeah, that's the problem you have here. Your demonstrations are corner cutters. This is definitely a corner cutter demonstration. It's not done right. You're missing a lot of tests. I mean, a lot of tests are missing. This is how you're supposed to do your tests. You're supposed to have white surfaces against your black screen, and you're supposed to display white levels. This is what you're supposed to be doing, but you're not doing any of these tests. See right there? See where it says Ken? You know what's interesting about this screen? I'm not going to mention your name, but you know what's interesting about this screen? You see this screen right here? This is coded with Phantom technology. You see this piece of cardboard coated with Phantom technology. Do you see where my name is written in Ken? I wrote that in with black paint. Everyday black paint. Just to show you on how advanced our technology is over everyday black paint and how we don't match up with it. So I wrote my name into it. Here. There's my name, Ken, right there. Ken. What are you tearing up? Okay, good. I hope that was your fish. Oh, you're good. Good. I told you my cat answers me back. He's weird. I thought he was chewing on my wires for a minute. He's chewing on his fish. All right, whatever. Because if I'm buying black paint from somebody, a screen paint, yeah, I got to think. When I develop paint, I have to think of what other people would think. How would they question my product? How would they deny my product? You know, what things would they try to debunk my product on, what it is and what it's not? This is why I show you settings in my projector. This is why I do demonstrations showing measuring tape at distance. That's why we do all these crazy demonstrations, because in my head, the trolls are actually, I tell you guys, I got to thank you guys. Because if it wasn't for you guys, I wouldn't be doing half of these crazy demonstrations. Because trolls, you guys challenge me. That's what I like about y'all. Oh yeah, that's why I keep you on my account. I keep you on my account, number one, so I can show you how it's done. But I also keep you because I learn things from you. Did you know that? Yeah, when I had a troll come in and say, show me the settings in your projector, I made that the thing now, showing people the settings in my projector. Can you do it at 1,000 lumens and show the settings? Done that one too. Can you show the difference between black paint? One even came and said, hey, what does gray look like on your screen? That was amazing right there, because now when I do demonstrations, I show gray screens versus a black screen versus gray screens. So I have gotten all kinds of basically interesting challenges from trolls, which actually helped me to build my company, because you guys basically give me challenges, and that's what I like. One guy said, oh, can you show us a screen in direct sunlight? Yeah, we do. We have something called sun killer technology. You can produce an image outside in the sun. Yeah, you guys, you gotta have them. At the end of the day, that's what they push you to do your best. Like I said, at the end of the day, I don't want a bunch of yes men under my belt. I want somebody that's going to tell me, like, well, what about this, and what about that, and what about this and that? Yeah, give me a challenge. You see me drawing that paint into that screen? That's everyday black paint that I'm pushing into that screen right now. When you're dealing with a phantom produces a white level literally so high that if I take black paint and I smear it down the side of my screen, the black paint will remain black, where the phantom will produce a higher white level. Has this test been done? I can, right now, today, I can make that a challenge. I could paint that on the 92-inch downstairs. I can take black paint and I can draw stick figures and whatever, turn it on an all white level, and those images that are not that doesn't have heightened technology our Titan technology will come up dark where our screen will come up bright. I can literally make that a challenge today, and I guarantee it'll never be met. This is the kind of test you have to do. This is why I tell people, don't go buy a product from somebody unless it has been properly tested. When you do those tests, they have to be done against white screens. There's no white screens in this demonstration. They're all gray. You know why they're gray? And I'll tell you why. Because as I said before, a gray is not going to pull a high white level. It's only going to pull a very dim level. Now, if you took that screen, that black paint you had, and you put it against a white screen, it's going to come up really trashy. That's why I would like to put it under the same test that our screens have to go through. Certified all white screen tests, on color level ambient light tests. Have you seen that demonstration done yet? I got to do me a segment that says, how many test demonstrations have been done correctly under black technology? So we all know that's never been done at all, period. Been there, done that. Look at this. So let's see if the product is black paint, or basically, because like I said, the black paint test has never been done, and it needs to be done. Because if not, like I said, we're looking to test all black screens, and if it hasn't been done, and if you deny it, like I said, if we buy it from him and if he denies the order, then automatically we consider that to be an automatically we know his product won't last against the screen. If the black paint test hasn't been done, I wouldn't go near it, because at the end of the day, you don't know whether you're buying everyday black paint or if you're buying an actual product that actually works. That's what you're going to run into. It has to be an actual product that actually works. See that? That's everyday black paint right there. That's why you have to show a liquid to liquid side-by-side demonstration. My hand's in the way, Mr. Bird. See that right there? That's a phantom. That's black paint. Next to each other, you couldn't tell one from the other. That's how both dark they are. But if you put that screen down and you put it onto our screen will pull a higher white level. That's what you should be showing. And your demonstration, when I told you side by side next to black paint, this is what the customers should have been seeing. This right here. Not this. I don't know what this is. At the end of the day, I'm sorry, dude, but I just don't know what the freak this is supposed to be. This is what you're supposed to be displaying. When I said side by side, what is that? So this is the thing I don't understand. This is right around the time we asked him to do the demonstration. What is this? How is that even matching? I said side by side to black paint. That's black. That's not black. That's not black. Where is the other black screen at? There's supposed to be another black screen here. This should have been all black paint. Or if this is your product, that should have been black paint, and this should have been all black paint. Both of these should have been dark. And there's supposed to be a liquid to liquid comparison. That's not even there. I don't even know what this is. So if you're claiming this to be your product, these two don't match. These definitely don't match. This screen definitely is going to pull a higher white level due to the fact that it's actually gray and not black. So how is this even matching? That is, I don't get that part right there. I don't. They're nowhere even close. Even with our product that dries lighter, they both show up dark. But in the end, they both basically show a lighter surface. Well, actually, this way. My screen basically comes up black, as you can see side by side. But when it dries differently. It dries lighter, but it's still black. That's not even black. So if this is your product right here, something's wrong here. When I gave you the challenge was a black paint challenge. That's what it was. You have your simple jet black mix versus simple black. What the freak? Where's simple black at? So this is supposed to be black. Which one of these is supposed to be simple black and which is jet black? Because that's not black. I don't know what this is. I don't know what that is. And that's actually black. So if this is the jet black right here, this is the color of jet black. That screen is really, really dirty right there. So that's really, really dirty. So is this supposed to be the jet black fusion or this simple black? If this is simple black, that's horrible. And if this is supposed to be the fusion black, that's not black, that's actually gray. So what is going on in here? Now, this is a demonstration you were supposed to do instead of cutting corners. That is the Phantom technology. That is black paint. That's black paint. That is Phantom technology. You're supposed to be showing the difference between the two side by side. That's where we do it in a liquid form, so that way we can show the person who we're doing business with that we're not selling them a great paint. Because I get asked it all the time. They're like, was that a great paint? Because the white levels are so high. I was like, no, it's an actual black screen. So that's why we do the side by side next to black paint. Here's a black paint pour. Here's right here the art paint pour. So you can look at it and go, okay, I see they're both black. Well, what's the difference? This one pulls a higher white level than this one. This one dries a different shade, even though they both look the same as black. There you go. I don't know where in the world, I don't know what in the world that was. I was looking at like, what is that? And then I realized you didn't compare black paint at all, period. In the demonstration, you skipped the entire demonstration on black paint. You try to do a demonstration of a black paint versus another black paint that you had. And in that demonstration, one of them was so dark, the image was coming up too dirty, and the other one actually wasn't even black. So I don't even know how that even became passable at all, period. Yeah, if you can do that demonstration again, like I said, I wouldn't buy that product unless he can show an actual demonstration of the product being black. Because it's not black, buddy. I'm sorry. But that product, one is gray and the other one is actually black. And the one that's actually black is showing a very dirty level. And you should be doing it on a white level too, also too, instead of gray. Just trying to help you out here, but like I said, I mean, if you want to join, I mean, I welcome you. If you want to basically design black screen paint products, I welcome you. I can't help you out with anything. I'm sorry about that, but you're on the wrong path, man. You're definitely on the wrong path. You're not doing it right. You're cutting corners like crazy. If that product got over here, we get destroyed over here. I'm telling you, just not doing your demonstrations right. Here, look at this. I even did a demonstration where I said, is my black Phantom nothing more than black paint? I put those challenges out there on my own stuff, live demonstrations on my own stuff. There's our product right there. There's black paint right there. You got to do that side by side. Because at the end of the day, people want to know if that's a gray product in there or if it's a black product. And then you're going to have to show that difference. Here's the pour out, showing the difference. Then both of them side by side. There's a black screen right there. There's my screen displaying its white level right there. And not only did I did black paint, but I did black fabric too. Because what's the difference between your product and black fabric? That's another one. What's the difference between your product and black chalk paint? What's the difference between your product and black vinyl? You're missing a lot of tests. So can somebody do the same thing with your product that they can do with any one of those surfaces I just named? And there's my screen covered up with a black material right there. So now these are questions that you asked us. I can back my products. So now I'm asking you. Everything now is going to change for you now. You want to develop back products? Well, guess what? That's what I'm expert in. So I'm asking you questions now. Customers should be demanding, what is the difference between your product and black fabric, black paint, black vinyl, black chalk paint? All those demonstrations need to be done. Not on pretty colors flashing across the screen, solid white levels only, just like I'm doing right now in this demonstration. Because you're missing a ton of tests that are missing. Because at the end of the day, if you can't back this up, your product is nothing more than black paint, which means your customers can make that easily just by going out and getting a black paint. They can do the exact same thing. The exact same thing. So what makes your product different? It's the same thing when we went in with the gray screen paint mixes. What's the difference between this gray paint mix and a black and white mixture? One on there made the products with no problem. We even made one that had nothing to do with the gray screen product, was actually a UV with no problem whatsoever. You can't show a difference. So at the end of the day, it's labeled as black and white paint. You have to show a difference. No one can come up to me and say, hey, a Phantom is the same as black paint. You want to see a demonstration? Here you go. Your product is the same as black material. There you go, demonstration right there. Oh, you were using a 4,000 lumen projector. Here's one on 1,000 lumens. What else you want? You have to be to back it up. Yep, I hear you, buddy. Now, that's not even a small, that's a large screen of 115 inch draped across my screen showing the black levels versus my product. So I'm going to ask you that question today. Since you've avoided that demonstration twice in a row, what is the difference between your product and black paint? You need to do a pour out, a side by side with both products, showing that both products are equally black, and you need to show a difference on a solid white level only. You have to show the difference, because at the end of the day, anybody could basically do the same thing with just black paint. See right there? Now, if you look at that, right? Look at that very carefully. Look at that very carefully. Do you know what that is you're looking at right now? That's black paint. That is everyday black paint. You see the screen behind it? That's black fabric. This is pulling up the exact same white level that your product is pulling up in the demonstration. Unless you can show me otherwise that it's not, it clearly shows that your product is nothing more than black paint, because you didn't do the demonstration. When I gave you the challenge, what you did was you took two different versions of a black product that was yours, and you tried to say, well, this one pulls up a higher. No, I didn't ask you that. I said, what is the difference between your product and black paint? Not a product that you made, and a product that's not a difference between black paint. Black paint should have been somewhere in that demonstration. One product, again, was dark, was pulling up a very bad white level. The other product was pulling up a good white level, but it wasn't black. It was actually gray. There was no black paint to be seen anywhere in the demonstration, which clearly tells me, and keep in mind the fact that you have avoided it twice, clearly shows me that at the end of the day, your product is black paint. I probably wouldn't have to put any white in it whatsoever. It's probably just solid black paint. See right there? Look at that. That's black paint. Everyday black paint. And that's what it looks like next to our technology. We can show you the difference between our product and black paint. Yeah, man, you gotta do those tests like that, man. You gotta do those tests like that. Because at the end of the day, they don't have to buy it. They can just go out and just go out and just go out and get the fabric and just do it that way. See? That's black paint right there versus our product right there. So this is what you need to be worried about. Because as I said before, you have to be to back your product 100%. If your product is black paint, anybody can take black paint, and like I showed you in the demonstration, and you can put on black fabric, you'll get the same reaction that he displayed in the video. Unless there's a comparison next to black paint, it is what it is. It's black paint. Because this is our screen producing yellow, and that's black paint next to it. See how dark and dirty the image comes up? So that's what you're going to have to do because you avoided it. I've noticed when I looked at your demonstrations, I have not seen one. And I told you when I study companies, whoever you may be, if I go to study your videos, I will look and see exactly where you are cutting corners in your demonstrations. And looking at this, I don't know how, again, that's black. That's black right there, but that's not black. So if you did a pour out side by side, this would come out black, this wouldn't, this would come out gray. And this is supposed to be your product because he says it's supposed to be a jet black fusion versus the simple black, probably simple black, some paint he made. I don't know how this is considered to be black. This is black, but that's not black. But the problem you have with this one is that the fact that this one is pulling up a very dirty image. That image is coming up way too dirty. And where is the black paint? The black paint is nowhere to be found in the demonstration at all. That's coming up too dirty right there. And there's no contrast in this at all whatsoever. So I'm sorry, buddy. That's a failed demonstration. That's an absolute failed demonstration. That's coming up way too dirty. Way too dirty. So if this is your product, that's a fail. And if this is your product, that's another fail. Due to the fact that this one right here, like I said, that's not black. I'm sorry. That's not black at all, any way whatsoever. My mouse is actually darker than that. That's not black at all, period. And you didn't have any actual black paint, so you missed the whole challenge. The challenge was you're supposed to have black paint side-by-side comparison. I don't see any black paint anywhere in the demonstration, and your screen is way too small. I don't know why I keep going with these cookie cutter screens. This is way too small. It should be much larger than that. Your white level tests are a fail because the screen basically that you're testing next to is supposed to be, this is gray, it should be white altogether. That's a complete fail right there. The screen you displayed outside was displaying gray, and the contrast levels should have never came up gray on a black screen, and they don't. They always come up black. No matter what, they always come up black. So that's a fail right there. Oh man, you're missing so many tests, it's not even funny. That's really poor. Sorry, dude, but that is just poor. It's poor. Of the day. So see why is your camera so close to the screen? My goodness. No backup. You can't even see how well the environment is because again, the camera, you have to pull your camera away from the screen. Oh my goodness. What is the purpose of being this close to the screen? My goodness, that's horrible. We're just looking at anything under black, but your camera's never supposed to be that close to the screen. Again, and you're in the dark, which I can clearly tell you're in a dark environment, which means you're too close to the screen, you're in the dark. You're supposed to have the screen at a distance so people can see the whole full screen in the environment at the same time. That's bad. This right here, I'm sorry, buddy, that's a fail. And I know you try to put it in Spanish, but I can read Spanish. Some Spanish, not all Spanish, but I can read Spanish, quite a bit of it. I told you before, a lot of my friends are Dominicans, Mexicans, Puerto Ricans. Yeah. So I know Spanish. Not fluently, but I know it. You hang around somebody long enough, you pick it up. It's like I know some Korean too. You hang around somebody long enough, you pick it up. It's like I know some Korean too. All right, so no, buddy. These are fails all the way around. I'm sorry. I don't know if what you were trying to do with a black screen. It's kind of sad because, like I said, he really shot himself in the foot pretty bad. And I'll tell you why. Because first things first, you damaged your gray mixes. If you're basically are a person who solidly believes that your gray mixes are more superior than black paint, and that your product is better than black screens, or you're claiming black screens pull up dirty images and this, that, and the other, and here you are basically displaying a black screen to your customers that you convinced not to go near black screens. Another problem we have here is that even when trying to make a black screen, you cut every corner in the book. Nothing was done correctly at all. So that's another huge fail. Another problem there on top of that is the fact that you pretty much, I don't know what you call spite, cut off your nose and spite of your face, which pretty much you did because you basically wrecked one of your products in order to try to support another product that you basically were strongly against. Because like I said, at the end of the day, this fellow has sent us making claims that our product was nothing more than black paint, that we were stealing from customers. There was no difference between our product and black products. Even in one live demonstration, he challenged me to turn around a black piece of vinyl and show that next to our product because it said it was the same thing. So now the shoe's on the other foot because we can back our product up. We can show our products basically in different forms of testing, where in your demonstrations, you have yet to do a demonstration of showing your product next to black paint. Didn't see that yet. Just a whole lot of talk. So you need to do that today at the end of the day, because there's a whole lot of tests you are missing, which I'm going to request for you to be able to do if you claim your product is what it is. You don't get out that easy, man. You really don't. But also even more damaging to yourself, you just showed at the end of the day, as I told you time and time again, that black screens are more superior than gray screen paint products. Gray screen paint products are old and obsolete. And even in his own demonstration, as you can see here, with this mix he has here, that sorry, it's not black, but it's still pulling up a much better image than his gray products, which clearly states and clearly shows that I told you at the end of the day that black technology, darker technology is more superior than your gray products that you claim to be better than anybody else's. And it isn't. Your product's old. So now you're going to have to figure out, you might have to obsolete all your gray screen paints and try to develop a black screen, because that's pretty much where you're headed at right now. Because who in their right mind is going to buy this stuff? Look how washed out and faded this screen is. And I've been telling you that for the longest time. Your products are faded and washed out. Am I giving you claim that you designed a black screen? No, you're not even close to a black screen. You have no test at all even claiming your product to be a true black screen. You don't even have a black paint versus black paint at all, period. Who's to say at the end of the day that your product is actually black paint? And in the demonstrations I displayed, I can do the exact same thing you're doing in your demonstration off everyday flat black house paint or a black fabric. I can do the same thing. There's no difference in the two than your product right here, because you haven't done the backup demonstration yet, proving that your product is different. Hasn't been done. All you've seen you do is basically avoid it and just show other demonstrations cutting corners, which clearly shows at the end of the day, if somebody's avoiding something, then chances are they can't do it. So automatically from the door, I know your product is nothing but black paint. Until you do those tests, no one should buy from you, because at the end of the day, they could probably do the same thing with some Black Bear 1050, the exact same thing, which I did in the demonstration. The other thing is where you said you shot yourself in the foot mentally. claiming that your Cinemax could pull a contrast level equal to a Phantom. How are you making a claim that you could pull a contrast level equal to a Phantom when your dark mix here, we're not going to call it black because it's not black, your dark mix here is producing better contrast and color than your gray screen? Yeah, you shot yourself in the foot. Any black paint could produce better than your product right here easily, which I think that is definitely black paint, because you don't have any way to back that up to claim that it's not. So until then, it's black paint. I'm sorry. That's where it has to lay at. See how dark your white levels came up? Black paint reacts the exact same way. So that's how we know that it's black paint. Black paint with a little bit, I'm not going to tell you what it is. It's black paint with a little bit of something in it. It's white paint. I guarantee it's definitely white paint. But the fact that you did yourself ugly on your own mix, because mind you, you're the one talking about your Cinemax is supposed to be to pull these amazing high white levels. And I noticed you didn't do any. Where are the contrast levels, the real heavy contrast levels in here? You didn't do any of those at all. I don't see any white snowstorms, nothing at all. No heavy white levels, no solid white levels. How come they're not in here? The reason why they're not in here, and I'll tell you why, because the Cinemax would have pulled the highest white level. Being a light gray screen, if he had did an all white screensaver in here, that Cinemax would have dominated the screen with no problem. If he had pulled any of the snow dogs, any white skin tones, it would have dominated automatically from the door. He had to keep it within an area where basically his screen could look good, but basically wouldn't downgrade the other screen at the same time. But you already did that already when you showed off some contrast levels on your screen. Like right there. So this is the situation you put yourself in. I'm going to just call you by your full name on this, Jamie. You trying to show that you can make a black product as faster enough you can do the same thing? No, you failed at that. I'll tell you why. There's no black paint comparison at all. You have to have that in there. You did a comparison against your own stuff. And that's what you did. That's not a test, sorry. And even when you try to do the demonstration against your own stuff, how are you calling one black when one is actually clearly gray and the other one actually is black? The one that's black is pulling a much dirty image, but the other one basically that's gray is pulling a much brighter image, but due to the fact that it's not black, it's gray. So that's complete fail. You pretty much didn't do the black paint challenge, which we gave you. You avoided it at all costs, which also shows that you avoided it in the last 3 videos, which actually shows that bottom line is your product probably is what it is, black paint. Any customer can do the same thing with black paint or black fabric because there's no proof that your product is any different. Whereas on the other hand, we can paint a black screen, paint our name in black screens or whatever, black fabric, whatever, and do the exact same demonstration and won't have a problem with it. Also, we can do the same display on white screens too. Yeah, you cut a lot of corners in your contrast demonstrations, a lot of corners. So basically you outed your product, your gray products, as bottom line as being as black technology or darker technology being better. As I said before, and I told y'all that the darker technology is the future. That's what it is. This gray stuff is obsolete. So all this time he was telling you, doing demonstrations about how we're scammers and our product is nothing more than black paint, and yet you can't do the same demonstrations that you accuse other people of being. Because I'm asking right now, where's your demonstrations of your black versus black? And I'm not seeing that on solid white levels. So who knows, your product could be black paint at the end of the day. I mean, you want to, every time we develop a black screen, you want to scream over scammers and we're stealing from people and we're doing this and doing that. And our products are nothing more than black paint. But at the end of the day, you can't even show a decent black screen. The only thing you're showing is basically a gray screen. So that's one fail right there. So look at this. You're putting all these things over scammers with this, that, and the other on our black screens with this, that, and the other. And yet here you are trying to make a black screen. But at the same time, you're damaging your own product because you just showed a screen that's dark gray that's producing a better contrast level and color than your Cinemax, which is supposed to be your top screen. Which you also may claim that your product also too was supposed to be be the pull contrast level next to a Phoenix. So this is what you're claiming. Let me show you something right here. Now mind, these are some of the demonstrations that he talks about the Phoenix. This is black technology. So you ridicule black screens, but yet you want to have a black screen. So this is supposed to be, you're painting on, this is a Phoenix. Are you sure about that? That's supposed to be a Phoenix? I hope you're right on that, Crow, because that is supposed to be a Phoenix. Are you kidding me? Have you seen the color of my screen outside? So this is supposed to be our product right here. Look at the color of it. That's dark gray. Where's the containers at, or labels? And again, this boy is colorblind. I hate to say it, but he's colorblind. That's a Phoenix, really? Yeah, you understand that. You know what? And I'm gonna be posting this video so too, because I have people. Matter of fact, on our page when you come on, there's a customer's Phoenix on display. But that's supposed to be the color of Phoenix. So let's get a shot in here of this screen. There you go. Hold on. We need to get a shot of this screen. That's supposed to be a Phoenix. How is that a Phoenix? And it's gray. When a Phoenix goes side by side to your UV mix, which is the exact same color as the product you just painted. So let me show you where you messed up. You see this right here? See the color of that screen? That right there, the surface right there, that surface is dark gray. That's what we use to coat the surface, so basically it doesn't bleed through the screen. That's a Phoenix right there. So how is the product you're displaying looks gray, and this is a Phoenix right here? This is why I said he fakes a lot of demonstrations. Look at the container of the bucket. That's one of the work buckets. That bucket's black. Gotta stop doing fake demonstrations, man. You really do. But now that you are basically trying to make a black screen, again, I got questions. And one of the questions we need to see is that product next to black paint. And when they dry black. Which I gotta be outside today too for demonstration right now. See? That's not gray. Yeah, that comes from doing these fake demonstrations and you're known for it. But like I said, at the end of the day, your product is not black. It's definitely clearly showing a gray screen. That's one of the problems you have there. You need to do that black paint demonstration, which I don't know why you're avoiding that, because at the end of the day, like I said, I'm claiming your product to be black paint, and that's what it is. If you have it on the website, we'll purchase it today. We'll bring it down here. If you deny the order, then basically it just shows at the end of the day your product, it doesn't work, because you have to be the back. If anyone's going to sit there and tell me that my product is black paint, I'm going to show you that it's not black paint. I'm going to do a demonstration next to black paint. If someone's going to tell me my product is fabric, black fabric, I'm going to show you that my product is not black fabric. Anything someone's going to say that my product is, I'm going to come out and back it up 100% with no problem whatsoever. I do not see any demonstrations at all of your product next to black paint. So at the end of the day, your product is what it is. It's black paint. Until you can show otherwise of a demonstration of the product being used next to black paint. And again, the dark demonstrations. Again, all right, I'm going to show you this real quick. This is one of the demonstrations we do with the contrast levels on a screen. I told you, anytime somebody displays contrast, always in the dark, because the white levels won't pick up. I mean, the contrast levels won't pick up. Told you, it's the same demonstration. We've done that outside. Anytime you display a contrast level, contrast levels are always supposed to be done in fully lit environments. That way you can see how the screen is going to react to the everyday light in your environment. This is not going to be at your environment at the end of the day. This is why you always do demonstrations in fully lit environments, because the customer may have a well-lit environment. Having a screen with the lights out is easy. That's easy to do. But having it in a fully lit environment is hard for a screen to be able to produce that image. That's why you want to always do those demonstrations in fully lit environments, as much light as possible. This is another place you messed up too. You just showed a dark gray screen paint product next to your Cinemax. And the dark screen paint product was able to pull a better contrast and better color than your Cinemax. Now you're showing your Cinemax in the dark. You just clearly showed everybody at the end of the day that they can just basically just take a dark gray screen and do the same thing your product just did. Why did they skip so many demonstrations? I swear that's really bad, man. Now, you should not be in that much dark at all. You're just explaining to your customers they literally have to be in the dark to do that demonstration. And I'm pretty sure you did it off the P2, which means you're going to have the 4000 lumen projector. But then again, I could do that at 720p in a fully lit environment. Let me show you, girl. That's what I'm talking about. Every time, every single time. Anytime they display contrast levels, always will be done in the dark, because that screen can't produce the contrast levels. But if the Cinemax produced such amazing contrast levels as you claim, then how come next to the darker mix it didn't produce the exact same contrast levels? Because it can't. It's physically impossible. I said 150 inches outside, Crow, at 551. No roofs, no ceilings, no windows, nothing to protect the screen. At 150 inches, it's taking in all that ambient light. My projector sits over 27 feet away from my screen. Which I get to be outside today. If the weather's good, I'm definitely gonna be outside today. Sorry about that, people. This is how you display your contrast levels. If you're going to prove your technology to be able to produce contrast levels, you don't do it in the dark. You do it in the best well lit if possible. If I could, like I said, if I had a house that was a greenhouse, which would be really nice, I would display all my stuff outside. Because I'd rather be outside than I would rather be inside, because outside I'm dealing with the best ambient light that I can possibly get my hands on. I mean, the fact that I can be out there and there's nothing out there to protect my screen at all. That's what I love about it. Now we got a green screen downstairs that can outperform your products. You do not want me putting your screen, and I'm not going to do it. As I said before, I'm not going to bother with your products like that. But as in for challenging for Black Phantom, yes, I am going to go after your products for that. Now, not in the way to where you think I'm going to go after them. No. As I said before, if you cancel the order, then we're just going to take it as you can't handle. You can't beat the screen. But don't go running your mouth about something that you think that you can beat, that you can't beat, unless you've done the side-by-side test. And good luck trying to mimic a Phantom. You can't even, you haven't even mimicked the Phoenix, because that's a Phoenix outside right now. That's a black Phoenix outside. So if your Cinemax, as I said before, can take on a black Phoenix, you should be able to do a demonstration at a 150-inch screen outside of your residence, not somebody else's residence. As I said before, usually, you know, you're going to have to take in residence where somebody else's. People usually don't have the ability to produce on a larger scale. We'll go to somebody else to try to do it. Now, you need to be to have that on your own site to be able to do that. The reason why I don't like it when people go to other people to try to do those demonstrations is because they could tell them anything. Hey, look, we want you to do it this way. We want you to do it that way. So and so and so. No, you should have a screen of that caliber on your site, especially if you're going to be doing venues. If you're doing venues are designed to be done on large scales. And that's what you should be doing. You should have a screen 150 inches or over. And this is supposed to be, mind you, the Phoenix, the black Phoenix that was supposed to come so dark you can't see it. But again, like I said, we're outside at 551 at 27 feet back. Wish I planned to be outside today. Is there any taco? We're going to be outside today. There's my stuff falling over. We're going to be outside today at 5 o'clock. As a matter of fact, we're supposed to be outside today with the other technology. No, until you can show me a black demonstration versus black paint, or your product versus black paint, everyday black paint, everyday black fabric, solid white levels only, then at the end of the day, your product is nothing more than black paint. You have to be to back that up. Until then, as I said before, because you need to develop a black screen, because you should be trying to develop a black screen. That other products you have are obsolete. They're old and obsolete. They're done. They'll never be able to compete with a black surface. Even when you showed me in the dark gray, it's not going to be able to compete with that at all whatsoever. But as I said before, we're challenging all products. So if your product claims to do what it's supposed to do, we'll order it, bring it down here. If you cancel the order, we're not going to pursue it, because at the end of the day, it just clearly shows it doesn't work. If we don't see any demonstrations on your product versus black paint, then at the end of the day, that's what your product is, nothing more than black paint. You have to be to show the difference. All right, with that being said, I got orders to get ready for. Oh, I forgot the new containers just came in. I got another. Did we do those containers already? Yeah, I got more. I got orders I got to take care of today, and I got a contract to look over at the end of the day. Look at that, 720p. I got beautiful that looks. 720p outside. I did one demonstration in the dark. We did, let me see. Here we go. I usually don't do them in the dark, but this one we did in the dark right here, because I like to be outside with the lights. This was outside. It wasn't even dark yet. This is outside on the 230. We did a 235.1, which now I got to go buy myself a 235.1 short throw. But this right here is a gray screen paint product right here. As I said before, they don't pick up. Now keep in mind, an inflatable screen coated with a gray screen paint product is not going to be to pick up a Starfield demonstration. I don't care how high powered the projector is. I'm 720p at around 4,000 to 1 contrast ratio, and this is where a gray screen paint product picks up next to our black screen outside in the dark. Can't even see contrast. It's right here. This is the red level right there. Can't even see blue. And this is in the dark with 4,000 lumens, and it still can't see blue. Yeah, how dark it is outside. Can't see blue. That's why I said that the gray products are obsolete. At the end of the day, just to cap this off real quick, people, his product is not black. It's probably gray. And until he does a demonstration next to black paint, you got to see if there's a comparison. If it is black, an actual black screen, he still has to do a comparison next to black paint because he has to show there's a difference. This is something we have to do all the time, and this is something that from this individual was basically pointed in our direction when we were developing black screens. Oh yeah, it's just everyday black paint. Well, guess what, buddy? Now we're pointing it back into your direction. What's the difference between your product and black paint, black fabric, black chalk paint, black vinyl, black wood? You have to have all those tests displayed. The fact that you don't have any of them displayed at this long period of time clearly shows at the end of the day that anybody can do the exact same thing with everyday fabric, a tablecloth, black sheets, or basically black paint. They can pull off the exact same thing your screen can do because you have no evidence to back it up. Also, too, what you're looking at right now is that's a Phoenix outside in the dark, and that's a gray screen paint product laying up against it. Even in the dark at 4,000 lumens, 27 feet away at 150 inches, a gray screen or white screen can't see color. I've been telling you that for the longest time. So go ahead and paint that stuff with your white inflatable projection screen at the end of the day. That's what you're going to pick up. Oh, by the way, there's a Starfield demonstration too. And we're going to be doing that demonstration today at night. We're going to be bringing in the big 250-inch screen. We're going to drape it right down the middle of the screen so that way you can see the reason why you don't want to go with white screens or gray screen paint mixes outside. And this includes, yes, when we say gray screen paint mix, the digital and crystal screen paint as we showed side by side. It doesn't match the other paint perfectly with no problem whatsoever. It is also too a black and white mix also too, but this one's a little different. It does have a bit of silver. We can put the ingredients up there for you guys anyway. You should have figured that out anyway. If you didn't figure that out. But anyway, like I said, if you paint this up on your screen, it is going to be a disaster. You're not going to be able to pick it out. This is why you need to have a large screen on hand. If you have to go to somebody else to get a large screen, there's a problem there. How are you calling yourself a company and you have to go to somebody else to use their larger screen for a display? No, you should have your own. There's the OLED horse washout. Yeah. All right, I'm done here. I'm going to work. I got to be outside anyway. I got a demonstration to do outside right now at around right now. Yeah, we're supposed to be outside right now doing a demonstration. You don't, well, we're not interested in its products, as I said before, since the Phantom does have challenges underneath of it. And like I said, when we get done with the certified screens, which we are done, we're going after screen paint products. So if you do have a black screen out there, then guess what? Either if you post the ingredients, we'll make it and put it against the screen, or we will buy your product, bring it down here. If you cancel the order, then we'll respect the cancel order and we'll chalk it up as a your product doesn't work. That's how we'll look at it. Is your product just doesn't work, or you're basically just afraid to go against the product. But at the end of the day, like I said, you're not going to see the black on black demonstration because I guarantee if you avoided it the first time and you cut that many corners with the cookie cutter sheet, there's no way in the world he's ever going to do it. And the fact he hasn't done it in the last 3 videos, you don't know what you're buying. But we can do the same thing with black paint as I showed you in the demonstration. I am going to go on eBay and see if I can get my 235.1 so I can mass it. Oh, I forgot to put the link. We did a live stream off of what my Facebook channel at? Hold on for a minute. We did a live stream. I forgot to put the live stream in there. We did a live stream on Facebook on that screen. Oh yes, we did. Let me go over here to my channel, my Crystal Edge page. Yeah, so at the end of the day, is this product black paint or is it the real thing? Well, yeah, I won't know until he does the demonstration. There you go. There's my screen right there. See that right there? That's a real 100% black screen outside. And I said before, you can't call yourself a company if you don't have giant screens to test on, your own screens. You should never have to go to somebody else and display on their screens. Companies should have their own screens, and you should. You got to go to somebody else and display on their screen. That means you don't have access to that screen 24/7. So if you want to do a demonstration, you have to wait until they get up, or you can contact them when you can come over. Oh, heck no. I can go out my backyard anytime I want, hit that screen anytime I want. I can jump inflatable screens through my yard. I got screens up top. You should have access to those screens 24/7. Because if a company comes in and goes, hey, look, we want to see this on a so-and-so screen, you can't get access to that. You have to be to display large screens, especially if you're talking about venue projectors, because no one's going to take you serious if they're looking at a venue projector on a 120-inch screen. That's why when I show off the screen on 120 inch, they say, you got anything bigger? That's what they ask me. Oh, sure. Here we go, out back. Boom. All right, that's what I'm talking about. That's what they want. That's the live stream we did outside. Came up really good. Interesting, the live stream came up better on Facebook than it came up on YouTube. I don't know what the freak is going on with YouTube. The stream going to YouTube freaking is choppy as I don't know what. That is a Facebook stream right there. That's on a 720p projector at 27 feet back. Let me go in here, and I need this video anyway to post at the bottom. We need this video right here. LW401. Now, did a test on the SVGA projector. Yeah, you gotta be able to back your product up. Can see you're an expert in your area. Yeah, I'm an expert in my area because we don't cut corners. We do everything by the book. If someone tells me I want to see your product against black paint, I ain't got no problem with that. There you go. Demonstration against black paint. I did multiple demonstrations. Wrote the name into the screen, painted the screen multiple times. We did demonstrations here. We did demonstrations over there. I did about 4 or 5 videos on black paint, black fabric, white screens, the whole 9 yards. I don't do those. I don't cut corners. Where we ask them to do that, where's the demonstrations? I never asked to see a demonstration of your simple black versus your jet black. I said black paint. Pour out comparison. Where's the demonstration? Where's the white level test? Where's the white level test at 1,000 lumen versus other black surfaces? Where are those tests at? None. And yet you're still showing the same cookie cutter screen. You need to put that on a much larger screen. Ugh, I forget it. It's unbelievable. Cutting corners, just cutting corners like crazy. Let me see. I need to take that live stream. We need to go to, because I want to post that on the channel right here. I forgot to put that in there. It was a live stream. I'm going to do another live stream tonight. Actually, I'm doing it at 5:51. I'm going to do live streams out there at 5:51. I don't like doing pre-recordeds. I hate doing pre-recordeds. But with the problem with, I'm going to try a little experiment. I think if I remove my Wi-Fi and just use my data, because I got a Ryzen, my service is really good with a Ryzen. So I'm going to do another test run outside today because I would prefer to do a live stream than do a pre-recorded because the live stream is in real time. But unfortunately, for some reason, I don't know what goes on with freaking YouTube. Their live streams come up looking like crap. So let me see. That's Facebook Live. If you want to check that out, there's a link right here. You can check out the demonstration I just did on Facebook Live. right there. You can watch it right from there. Yeah. So you can click on there, you can see the live demonstration right on Facebook, right on my page. All right, I gotta go. I got mail stacking up. I got orders gonna be coming in pretty soon. Just so you know, Jamie, that's a black screen. So you can know what it looks like. I don't know what the heck he was displaying in that other room. Just see, that's black. I don't know what the heck he was just displaying. You were supposed to do that product against black paint. That's black paint right there. But like I said, people will cut corners. That's why the video got deleted. A lot of you know he deleted that video, put it back in. Because he realized the screen is not black. I don't know where he came off with that. That's black. See, that's a black screen. Yeah, I gotta order your treats, buddy. Gotta order your treats. Why is all my stuff on the floor? And where is my remote control to my screen? Oh, we got a package. Ugh. All right. Ooh, wow. I think I just scratched that. Pretty sure I did. Yeah, I'll get it back down. This is going downstairs. Where in the world? Every time I gotta make my. I never could find where my remote controls are. I don't like the way the weather looks. It looks a little cloudy outside. I want to be able to get outside. And oh, here it is. Always under the bed. Always under my sofa. This is how your screen's supposed to react if you got a true black technology. See, no dark environments. No, plenty of light pushing through on both sides. I don't have walls. I got windows on both sides, right here, here, and here. Veneer blinds so light can push through. Everything in here is white, so I can generate more light in the environment. OLED, QLED, contrast demonstration.
Getting that from YouTube.
Should be able to display that with no problem whatsoever. QLED contrast demonstration 4K.
Getting that
Oh,
from
we're going to be
YouTube.
working on the green screen. I'm working on the green screen today. So the green screen's contracted. It's already locked onto a contract that fast. Actually 3 of them for that technology. Got the lights on right here. Got the lights in the environment. Put on my soundbar, buddy. Gotta stay off my soundbars. Thank you. I'm gonna have to secure the soundbar. My cat's been actually climbing up on that, and I can tell he's been on it. By the way, this is a Phantom Crow at 126 inches, edgeless, on an elite screen. Window to window, no problem. Can produce 100% contrast, higher than the Phoenix. This is how your demonstration is supposed to be displayed. Anytime you display a contrast level, it's supposed to be done in a fully lit environment. You never do them in the dark. I don't even need an ultra short throw. My projector sits back 18 feet from my screen. And as you can see, welcome to the future, my friend. You need to improve your black technology by a lot. You need at least 5 years in order to do this. Perhaps when you finally come around to your senses and realize that your gray screen paint products are what they are. They're obsolete. This technology we have here could eliminate your black screens or gray screens or whatever they are and wipe out all your light gray screens just like that. It's a screen at 10% wiped out 18 certifies. It's the most powerful screen we have. We even got companies now inquiring the technology. Vivistorm is interested. And we're going to be doing a demonstration pretty soon showing all their screens. I want the best of their best over here, so we can show them what the best looks like. You can't make a claim that your product is the best unless you can back it up. I can back my product 100%. You have to be able to back it up. So how many certified screens has your product passed? How many companies have contacted you asking you about it? Ooh, I haven't done this one in a while. Edge to edge, black. Until we test that product next to black paint, again, at the end of the day, like I said, it's black paint. I'm going to be on the green screen today, huh? Yeah! Yeah! I get to work with that today, so it's fun. That's the sad thing about it. They have to be in the dark to be able to show their contrast levels. If the Cinemax was able to produce contrast levels on that level equal to our black Phoenix, not Phantom, Phoenix, then you should have been able to do that in a fully lit environment with no problem. And clearly, next to that jet black fusion or whatever that stuff is, it's not jet black, it's jet gray. That's what we're going to call it. It's a jet gray screen. That product produced a better contrast level than the Cinemax, which that screen was supposed to be equal to a Phantom or Phoenix. So how are you equal to a Phoenix if the Phoenix is darker than that mix you have, that jet gray? Because that screen's not black. OLED, beta fish.
Getting that from YouTube.
We gotta try to see if we can get that in the big bags. They never make that in the big bag. Never.
I'll run a little longer.
We'll try to get in a bigger bag. Or just find a company and get it. Anytime you want to, if you want to go side by side to this technology, you let me know. Not trying to be smart or anything, man, but this screen will destroy your screen without mercy. That's what we designed it to do. That's why we're going after every black screen we can get our hands on. Starfield screensaver.
Getting that from YouTube.
Remember when I told you that a black screen always remains black? Always remains black, no matter what. That's why when I saw the screen outside and I looked at it, I was like, my screen's producing gray. Sure enough, when the side-by-side test came up to show he was trying to do the challenge on the black paint, the screen came up gray. Told you. Outer space screensaver.
Getting that from YouTube.
Oh, I definitely got to do this one for Facebook now. We got the windows open. I don't want to pull the camera over because I don't want my neighbors looking at me like, well, they know what I do for a living, but you know, I don't want to do that. It would be the truth. So basically have my camera pointing at the window. Their houses are like, they're like not detached, but you know, they're pretty close. So I don't want to have the camera on like that. So we'll stay right here. But as you can see, windows open here, windows open here. I don't have my screen tucked away in a little corner. All right, buddy boy, come here, come here. We'll have treats for you today. What do you want? What do you want? I'll make you something special for today, okay? Something special. I thank you. Yeah, you know I got you. You know I got you. Don't call us stupid. You know I got you. What do you want? You want something special? Yeah. Panasonic 4K.
Getting that from YouTube.
Honestly, I'm gonna give you a little word of advice for somebody who's an expert in black technology. Don't let the order go through. I would advise you to cancel the order. You don't want to go against the screen. I'm just giving you that advice right now. You let the order go through, you're not going to be able to take the screen on. Like I said, our heightener technology is amazing. You will never be able to match the screen in white levels. You won't produce contrast levels. Yeah, all black screens are going to produce contrast, but the white levels on this technology are unmatched. We haven't done any, half of the tests that we, actually any of the tests we've done under the Phantom, he hasn't done yet. So that's how I automatically know from the door that it's not going to pass. He's better off just basically trying to cancel the order, and that's basically about it. Now keep in mind, this is not starting with you because you wanted to make a black screen. And I told everybody at the end of the day, we developed this technology to go against everything. We're not leaving any stone unturned. I want at the end of the day to be able to say, yeah, we challenged this thing, we beat this screen, we beat that screen. I want the best of the best. You can't claim to be the best of the best, but you beat the best of the best. And at that, we didn't even need a $4,000 projector to do it. My projector behind me is like 500 bucks. It's used, old, outdated. This projector was discontinued in 2012. You can go on eBay if you can find one, because they are hard to get. But if you could find one, most likely that projector would only cost you like 500 bucks. That's it. So my projector isn't up to date. It doesn't have all the special bells and whistles as some of the more advanced, more newer model projectors. My contrast ratio is only 4,000 to 1. That's it. And my projector doesn't have to be shoved right up on top of the screen to produce a beautiful image. I'm 18 feet back. $4K snow demonstration screensavers.
Getting that from YouTube.
It's like having a TV, black TV. That's what it feels like all day.
Credit card, I really get double cash back. You do? Guys, like, love them.
Boom, 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 boom. 4K snow screensavers. I might put one of these outside.
Getting that from YouTube.
But we're going to do it. I told you that the Phantom has an invisible version of it. So the invisible version of the Phantom is black, like it's super jet black. You can't even see anything through that screen. No lamp glare, nothing. But it can push an image through. So they all have invisible versions of them. So we're going to design the invisible version of the Phantom, not right away because right now I don't have the time to do it. But we are going to do an invisible version of it. So that way we can put that on display because I have a lot of people interested in that. We will make that available for customers. But keep in mind, it's nothing new. It's just the invisible version of that technology. Let's see. Oh, there's the bounty hunter. On his motorcycle early in the morning. I wonder where he's going. Skyworth food demonstration.
Getting that from YouTube.
Now, when you saw it back there, it was at 92. Now it's at 126. I got it on 135 upstairs and another 106. So in the other room, we have 135 coated with it, 106, 226, and 92. Well, the 92 is not there anymore, because the 92 is replaced with the new green technology. And the reason why we can display it this way is because the screen was tested on white levels to see exactly where we had to adjust the screen. As a matter of fact, the Phantom came up so high that at one point we had to adjust and bring down the brightness on one of the projectors because it was producing so much white light. That's why I said we had to bring that special toner to drop the RGB to control the heightener, because these screens can produce even whiter levels than this. LG snowboarding. I don't like to do contrast. I mean, screen's designed to do contrast. What's the point? I don't know how that's going to work. How are you going to ridicule black technology and say it comes to too dark and people shouldn't buy it if you're trying to make one? Trying to make one. And how are you going to support your gray screen paint products? Well, clearly you showed in your video demonstration of a gray screen paint mix, a dark one at that, producing better contrast and color than your Cinemax. But then again, you did say your Cinemax could produce a white level high enough to compete with the Black Phantom or a Phoenix. But a Phoenix is actually darker than the screen you displayed in your video. I don't know where in the world they're going at with that one. That's just crazy. You keep it up, you're going to end up developing multiple personalities. You don't want that craziness in the end of the day. You're kind of like Two-Face. Not saying you're Two-Face, but you know, Two-Face, the character, one half was black, one half was white. I think that's what his suit was. One was black, one was white. Yeah, because he did the whole yin-yang thing with the coin and all that. Yeah, but anyway, that's pretty much where you're at. You're in that dilemma. You can't ridicule black screens because unless you're going to say that your product is better than any other black screen out there, which you can't say because you haven't done any tests on it. You have no certified tests, you have no white on white tests, you know, black on black tests, there's nothing done at all, period. So you can't make that claim, so I don't know where you're going to go at with that, honestly, at the end of the day. Kitty. I don't know. Let me see. And until we see any demonstrations on that black paint versus black paint, at the end of the day, your product is probably either a dark gray screen or black painted, just that. J&K 4K.
Getting that from YouTube.
I wish I could leave my windows open like that.
What your skin craves.
I like a lot of light in my environment. I can't stand being in the dark. I don't know how people do it. I can't do it. That makes it so bad. That's an ultra short throw projector. An ultra short throw projector in your environment is supposed to be to replace a TV. It's supposed to give it like a kind of a TV effect. The fact that you have to be in the dark. Doesn't that projector have something like 2 million to 1 contrast ratio? It's pretty high. It's like way up there. Why are you in the dark with a projector with that kind of power when it comes to contrast? That's another clear sign that there's something wrong there. There's no way in the world you should be showing that demonstration off in the dark with a projector with a contrast ratio that high. Mine only has 4,000 to 1. And at that, your projector is sitting less than a foot away from your screen at 100 inches, which that means it's compressed into that little small, 100 screen is not small, but you know what I'm talking about. And how are you still in the dark with that? Like I said, nothing wrong with the projector, it's the screen. Yeah. As I said, there's a lot of questions with that. If I didn't even know this individual when I came in and saw this video, I'd be asking a million and one questions. Number one, the projector. Number two, why is the room in the dark? Then I would go and look at the specifications on the projector. Like, it's got how many contrast to 1 ratio on that thing? Are you kidding me? What's that doing in the dark? Can't see it because the screen won't pick it up. Now, if you notice, like I said in the demonstration, we had the gray screen, not black. Next to the Cinemax was washed out and faded out. Since you like to do it up close and all. And I can't do the camera from side to side because I got my people up. I don't want them to see. I can record them. This is how sharp the image is coming up. You see where my windows are at? See how tall my screen is? My screen comes right up to where my windows are at. And these are my curtains. My curtains are really thin, so a lot of light can pass through because I do not like to be in the dark. I hate it. This is where my projector sits, 18 feet away from my screen. I should be able to go all the way back here into the next room, right next to the new green screen, and I should be able to see my screen perfectly from here. Hey, what's up, Taco? Chilling, relaxing. See, this is what you call real black technology. No cookie cutter screens. That's why cookie cutter screens. No cookie cutter screens. No. Go up my stairs. So anywhere I move it in the environment, if I'm coming downstairs, I should be able to see that screen. Anywhere I move it in this environment, that screen should pick up. Let's go back to QLED, contrast demonstrations.
Getting that from YouTube.
This time I have my windows open. Well, we have more light. We have light coming in. They're veneer curtains, so I just want to push through, but I got them pulled back. Now, if you call your product being the real deal, you should be able to do this in a fully lit environment. Plenty of light wrapped around your screen. That's why I know the Cinemax couldn't come next to touching this technology. This technology can do this at 126 inches, 18 feet back on a projector that's $500, contrast ratio 4,000 to 1, and my projector's outdated since 2012. And I can do this in a fully lit environment without even breaking a sweat. That's what real technology is. Not sitting in the dark with some neon lights wrapped around it, tucked away in a little corner with an ultra short throw projector that has a 2 million to 1 contrast ratio attached to it, somewhere around that area. Less than a foot away from a screen. Yeah, that's the difference of what I do and what you do. You have to be able to back it up. The windows are almost the same height as my screen. So if I want, I can sit here in my chair, get me a ham sandwich, and I can watch Leave It to Beaver cartoons, football, sports, TV shows, cartoons, whatever I want. And at the end of the day, my projector didn't cost me $4,000, it cost me $500. That's it. That shows my projector doesn't do all the work. The screen does all the work. What you doing, big man? You down there playing? Rawr! Your craziness. I gotta get him a bigger scratching post. He's beating the crap out of that thing. The only thing that bothers me about that individual is that he cuts so many corners. There's so many corners that he cuts. It's unbelievable. Oh my goodness. I don't know how. And again, like I said, the UV mix over here, like I said, was able to make it. And the problem with the UV mix, like I said, it just pulls too dark of a level. I couldn't imagine a screen darker than that would have some real serious issues. If he did make it the exact same way he did the UV. But like I said, when I saw from the demonstration, the fact that he couldn't even produce a black on black. You couldn't show me black paint. You had to skip that and put some simple black versus jet black fusion. I didn't ask for all that. I said in the challenge, you're supposed to show me 2 black products. What's the difference between your product and black paint? You couldn't even show me that. And the last 3 demonstrations you did, you still didn't display the demonstration, which clearly shows that your product is product with mixture of some black and some little bit of white put into it to give it that somewhat black level, but not a black level. I don't know. That's all over the place with that one. I've studied all kinds of black screens. I've never seen anything like that before. That's just like, not black at all. Here I am trying to search and trying to find the blackest screen we can make. And no, you don't even match my screen's contrast levels. Well, you better get one of them right, because right now at this point, if you can't prove that product is not everyday black paint, if you can't prove that your product can perform better than the black surfaces that we display, you just produced an image next to the Cinemax on a dark gray screen. And buddy, the dark gray screen had a much better image, better color, better contrast, and it did it in a fully lit environment, which shows you at the end of the day, when I was telling you that your light screen products are obsolete and dark technology is the way to go, you just showed it. You just showed it in that video demonstration. That dark gray product did outperform your Cinemax on every level whatsoever. The Cinemax only pulled the higher white level because it is a lighter screen. But contrast and color, it did way better than all your screen paint products, I guarantee you. The only problem you have with that mixture is the fact that you don't have any real test on it next to a black screen. You don't have the black paint demonstration. You don't have the white level demonstration, the black on black demonstrations. You don't have any of those done. So until then, what's going to hurt you the most is that any one of your customers right now can go out and take black paint or black fabric and do the exact same thing, unless you can show them that they can't. Because you just displayed a screen that did a much better job than your Cinemax. Easily, and that's your top best screen. That's what you just did to yourself when you did that video. That's literally just what you did to yourself. That's why we do the black on black paint demonstrations, because if I'm developing a black screen, at the end of the day, I'm going to bump it and somebody's going to say, hey, what's the difference between your product and black paint? Well, I can just go and buy black paint. I can do the same thing. What's the difference? I have to show them a difference. That's why the demonstrations are there. But you don't have any of those demonstrations there. So at the end of the day, both of your products are in jeopardy now. You just showed a product literally that pulled a better image than your top screen, without having the ability to back it up that is different from black paint or any black surface. You just you obsoleted your own stuff. Literally, just did it. You gotta fix that, man. I'm gonna help you out a little bit. Like I said, at the end of the day, I make my money. I'm contracted. I make my money. At the end of the day, I'm good. I'm trying to help you out a little bit here. You may want to go in and do that black surface demonstration so you can show there's a difference. Like I said, at the end of the day, you don't take any business from me. You take no money from me, nothing at all, because I got years and years and years into investing my time and my life into doing this. So my product is backed up by my test and my time that I put in, my experience, which makes me an expert and a professional in the field. I have more projectors than you have, and I've tested on more bigger, larger screens on larger scales. I got screens inside and outside the home. I have demonstrations of customers, demonstrations of companies, contracts, like I said. But if I can give you a little bit of some experience, some knowledge, someone who actually works in black technology, I would advise you the first test you need to be doing is it showing there's a difference between your product and another black surface, which you really need to do. I don't know if the weather is warm. I want to watch Super Bowl outside on the big screen now. I think I'm gonna blow me up an air mattress. Let me know it's not gonna be warm. It's gonna be colder than a mother jumper. So I'm pretty much probably gonna be on this screen over here. But I do want to be outside though. Taco, I ordered you an Eagles jersey. Yeah! I got an Eagles jersey for my cat. Taco got that Eagle jersey. Got the Eagles jersey, buddy? Yep, I ordered you one. Like I said, at the end of the day, it's not about putting his product down. It's just telling him what he really needs to be doing. You know what I mean? We got enough canceled orders from them. We really don't care because we know the product doesn't work. And the fact that I was able to make the product so easy, you know, like I said, and my intentions when I did the video was not trying to make the product, but to see how close we could come to it. So that's what we do when we do the black on black test with the screen, because I'm curious, like, how close could somebody come to matching the screen if we took another black surface? Like if we took black paint, how close would black paint come to matching the surface? How close would black vinyl come to matching the surface? So that's why those tests are done. Because, you know, at the end of the day, there's always going to be somebody who's going to try to do this to my product or test against that and the other. You know, just out of curiosity. I would too. Like I said, when I ordered other black products down here, I test them because I'm curious. How close would they come? So you have to get into the mind of the everyday consumer that's going to think like that. And that's why those tests have to be done. Not only to prove that your product is different, but to show that there's a difference to the consumer. Let them know that, hey, look, I'm not scamming. This is not black paint. This is what it is at the end of the day. And if you don't have those tests there, then people are going to label your product as black paint. And at the end of the day, I think you should know the difference between what gray and black looks like. Because clearly in a few demonstrations, you displayed a gray screen. I don't like to talk and not back it up. That's one thing I don't like to do. I don't like to talk and not back it up. I'll go downstairs and I'll show you my own products in action so you can see the difference on how it's supposed to look. So, you know, I don't have to have dark curtains or none of that stuff to worry about stains washing out or fading or none of that stuff. So look at this right here. Let me show this real quick. He tries to copy our demonstrations, he does. He tries to do the same things that we do. But where you fail at is the fact that your environment's in the dark. Any black screen, any light gray screen is going to pull a better image in the dark. Those demonstrations are supposed to be done in fully lit environments. I mean, like I said, that right there, that demonstration right there, that should have been in a well-lit environment. That's an extremely powerful projector you have there. Very powerful projector. With that kind of contrast ratio, you should have never been in the dark with that. Look at the size of your screen. Look at the size of my screen. My screen is much larger than your screen. My screen is actually the same height as my windows. I have a really big screen. My screen's 126 inches at 16:9. So my screen's way bigger than your screen. My screen takes in 10 times more ambient light than your screen because where my screen sits at, there's a window here, a window here. My screen is just inches away from the window itself. My projector sits back 18 feet. Your projector sits back less than about a foot. Where your screen is, there's your projector right there. So it's less than a foot away from your screen. And with a 2 million or whatever, something like that contrast ratio, I have no idea why you're in that much, why you're in the dark like that. Now this is where you messed up. Big time. This is where you messed up. Now you see how he's in the dark right here, trying to produce the contrast levels right here. This is where you messed up big time. And I don't think you were thinking clearly when you did it. That's where you messed up. That's where you made your biggest mistake. Because the Cinemax, you claim to have contrast levels, as you stated, contrast levels more powerful or just as equal to the black screens, right? The problem you didn't make, the mistake you made for yourself here is the fact that, number one, this is not a black screen. I'm sorry, people, but that's actually dark gray. And the problem you made here, this is your Cinemax right here. Now, as I've been telling y'all from day one, that darker screens are the most expensive screens, the more advanced screens. The light screens are not. They're bottom dollar screens. They're near white screens. That's what they're near. The lighter they are, the closer you are to white screens. They don't produce contrast, they don't produce color, but they can produce a high white level. That's why in all the demonstrations, when he displayed the screen, he made sure when he was doing a fully lit environment, all the environments were done with really pretty colors, because those are areas that would fade less, even though the colors are faded. But you guys can't see that. That's just black technology. Standing behind it, you would see it then. You can see it now in this one. So when he shows off the demonstration, right here, and this is where, like I said, your screen is coming up gray because I don't know what the heck this is right here. A black screen is always going to remain black from corner to corner. See how the Phantom was up downstairs? How that screen remained black from corner to corner? I don't know what all that is. What is that? That doesn't even look correct at all, period. That is coming up gray. That's coming up black. It's kind of reacting kind of like those reflective screens, the screens that have that kind of reflective surface. If you turn them from left to right, they get real dark and then they get lighter. And wait a minute, this is not even painted on. This is a screen right here. I can see the edges right here, right there. We gotta look at this a little closer. This surface looks reflective. You're like, wait a minute, how do you know that? I haven't seen enough of these screens to know. Screen is reflecting. See that? That's not even a screen. That's not even paint, buddy. What's this right here? Why is your screen, what is this? Why didn't you just paint this onto the surface you had it on? That's gray. This is a reflective surface you're using, because one minute it comes over black and then it comes over gray. So it's a dark gray screen. It's something weird. That's why you can't match the black paint, because the screen is gray. So he's moving it back and forth. That screen's gray. It's not black. Usually when you're dealing with the, I'll show you that in the demonstration. When you're dealing with a reflective surface that has a kind of reflective coating, if you move to the side, it's called the narrow viewing comb effect, where the screen actually turns dark on you and then they get lighter and they get darker. You're not going to pass our screen at all, period. I can already make it from the door. But like I said, it's up to you if you want to go against it. If you don't, you know what I mean? I'm not going to force your hand. It's up to you. But this is where you made your mistake. So this right here, and let's forget this. Right here, this is your top product right here. This is your Cinemax. This is the screen you just showed in the last video demonstration, producing the contrast levels. But this product right here you have is producing, as I said, even though it's not black, darker screens produce much better images. And this is coming from a person who's claiming that dark screens aren't worth your time and money, to turn your screens dark, blah, 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 blah. But yet your UV mix is actually darker than that. So right here, as you can see in the demonstration, the Cinemax is not pulling the exact same contrast level as the dark gray mixture right here, whatever this is. Right there. See where his screen is actually faded and washed out? I told you that the Cinemax cannot produce a contrast level or color level next to any dark screen. It is going to wash out and fade out because it can't see contrast and color. I told you that. You damaged your own self on this one. You put this screen against your top screen. Well, you just showed the screen that, keep in mind, at the end of the day, you can't even support the fact that the screen is not black paint or not, because like I said, those tests were never done. So at the end of the day, anybody can take black paint and get a better result off your top product. That's what you did to yourself. Now, if you did the demonstration saying, hey, look, this is my product versus black paint, there's a difference between the two, and then you come out and do this demonstration, no one can question your darker screen saying it's not black paint due to the fact that you have test demonstrations back in your product showing that it's not affiliated with black paint. And that would cause customers not to go out and do that because you can show a difference. Like, look, if you do this with black paint, this is what's going to happen with your white level, so and so and so. So you don't want to do that at all. This is going to discourage customers from going out and having black paint as a projection screen due to the fact that this showed a much better image than this screen, this being your top screen. This screen, as you claim, has the ability to be able to pull a higher contrast level than a Phoenix or a Phantom. Is not even coming close to this screen right here in color and contrast. So unless you can back this up as not being everyday paint, your customers can just go out and get everyday paint and get the same reaction. That's pretty much what you did to yourself. See, the background in this demonstration is supposed to be black. Your screen's not even picking it up. You damaged your own product with a product that's not properly tested. See how washed and fade out the image looks right here on the Cinemax? Completely washed out here, completely washed out here, but pulling a much higher white level here due to the fact that this screen is much darker. And the fact that your paint is pulling up such a dark area here, that's not good. That shows bottom line your screen paint is not doing, it does not do well with white levels. Because this screen is not even white. White screens. So there is a problem right there. Oh, where'd that go? There's a problem right there. But all in all, if they just got everyday black paint, they could basically produce a better image than your screen paint product easily on the Cinemax. But again, like I said, at the end of the day, they're not going to be able to match a black paint next to a Phantom because the Phantom pulls a higher white level than black paint because we have the demonstrations to back it up. You don't have any test demonstrations. So right now, this would be your dominating product right here. And until you can get a proper test showing that your product can produce a white level higher than a white screen versus black paint, you're jammed yourself pretty bad. Now see what the white level in here is really dark and really dirty, but it's lighter here. Mind you, you're talking about a white screen. If your image is coming up this dirty here on a gray screen, imagine when you hit it against a white screen. That's one of the tests you're going to have to go through. And you haven't even done that one yet either. Yeah. By far, you obsoleted your own product, literally. And we did it with a product that wasn't even properly tested. So you should have tested your product first. Like I said, did the black level test with the black paint. That's what you should have did first, showing there's a difference between your product and black paint, showing that it actually is a black screen and not a gray screen. You should have did that first. And then after doing all your testing, then you should have put it against your gray screen, because even at the end of the day, if this produced a better image than your gray screen, you would have tests showing your product is different from black paint if that ever comes up in question. But you can't even back that right now. So at the end of the day, anybody can take black paint and basically get a better result than your product right here, because you just showed that the darker screen pulls the more superior image, which I've been saying that for so long. But thank you for showing that to us all, because that's what we needed to see. I'm gonna let that play right there. Yep. You just admitted it right there on camera. You should have did more testing, man. You messed up pretty bad. Really, really bad. You have no testing under this screen. Anybody can take black paint and do the same thing. Duplicate the exact same thing with black paint. Because you have no test under this product showing that it's different from black paint. And you just put this against your top screen, which is actually doing better than your top screen. So until you come up with a test that shows that your product is not only can match a side-by-side pour out, it's not gray, that it's actually black, number one. And that there's a difference between your product and black paint, black fabric, because now you're going to have to debunk all those theories now, because at the end of the day, anybody can just go out and buy black paint and basically outperform your product right now. Your customers don't even have to buy your product. They can just buy black paint and get a better image because you have no test back in your product. They can't do that with our product. They can't go, oh, I'm going to buy a black Phantom because I can do the same thing with black paint. Here's 20 demonstrations on why you don't want to use black paint. Here's demonstrations on black fabric. Here's demonstrations on black vinyl. We can back ours up. You can't back yours up. You just showed your customers how to have a better product than your product without buying it. Because this looks a heck of a lot better than this. And this is your Cinemax. This is the screen that you just showed off in the dark. This is not even in the dark. Did you realize this screen is not being displayed in the dark? It's in a fully lit environment and it's producing a better image than your Cinemax, and you have no test back in this screen before you put it up there? What were you thinking? Now see right here where I showed you the white levels? This is where you're going to have a problem right here. It's one of the first problems that popped up I just saw right here. And I'm going to show you right here. See right here? See where the white levels right here are really dark right here and they're much brighter here? Now mind you, this screen right here is not bone white. This screen next to a bone white screen is going to pick up dark. Only a white screen is going to be to produce a white level. This is why I explained to you why before when you test a black product, you want to do it against a white screen because you have to see where your white levels lay. If you do it against a gray screen, you don't have proper readings because gray screens can't produce 100% white levels. But that being said, with your image coming up this dark versus a lighter gray screen, and a lighter gray screen can't produce the same white levels as a white screen, that means a white screen's going to make your screen look even darker than this. That's what you're going to be faced with now. That's why you do the test on the white screen first. We do the gray test when we're doing against sample sheets, but we always do the white level first. Anytime you watch me do a certified screen, the first thing I ask for is white levels first. That's what you should have did. So the mistake you made here now is the fact that this being a gray screen is never going to be able to pull white levels as high as a white screen. And with that being said, if you ever put this side by side to a white screen, your image is going to come up much darker than this because the white level is going to overshadow because it can pull a much higher white level. That the gray screen is not going to pull a much higher white level. It's going to pull a little bit lower than the white screen because it's darker. Oh my goodness. This is what happens when you cut corners. So if we stick this screen in front of a white screen, it's going to come up tremendously dark because he didn't do the test. And at that, you stuck it against your high-end screen, your Cinemax, your bestseller, which you should have never did without doing the proper testing behind this screen. Oh, my goodness. My goodness. Man, you talk about basically, look at the colors here with the orange and different colors. The only problem it's having is not producing its white levels that well. But look at this. For a gray screen, and this is not black, sorry people, but for a gray screen, look how the colors are much better than the Cinemax. But this is a screen, mind you, under the Cinemax. Again, another screen, no testing done whatsoever, cutting corners. This is another screen that you claim to have the ability to pull these amazing contrast levels. So how's it going to match a black screen if it can't even match a gray screen? Oh, so many mistakes, so many bad mistakes. This is not good for you, buddy. This is not good for you. You're going to have to do that demonstration back in your product, basically showing it side by side of black paint. If not, anybody can come out and make this right here. Look at this. See the background of this is supposed to be black? See how the Cinemax is not even picking it up at all, period. That's why I kept saying in the video, the UV mix. A UV mix is a very dark mix. I said you need to do a demonstration with the UV mix next to the Cinemax if you're claiming the Cinemax has this capability. Never did the demonstration. You do it to yourself. That is really, really bad. If you call yourself matching the same as the screen, you didn't even come close to even matching it. I guess he was trying to show that he could match the screen. Not even close, buddy. What you did in the demonstration, you showed another screen that's more superior than your product without testing. So at the end of the day, Jamie, what is the difference between this screen and black paint? If you can't prove that theory, and as I showed you in my demonstration, you can take black paint and get the same image, then anybody can go out and just buy a can of black paint and get the same results. There we go. What is that? What is this right here? I told you when the projector switch is off. He switched that switch off. What is this? Why is this screen showing dark here? And what is all this? I don't know what this smeared on mess is. That's not even a proper demonstration. Yeah, I can just until you show your product, it's not black paint. This is actually doing better than your screen right here, much better than your screen. This is why the Cinemax couldn't do any demonstrations outside on the star field, because it wouldn't pick up. There's no way it would pick up. That's why when we gave him the challenges for the star field demonstration, it wouldn't be able to pick up. And at that, you're doing all color. Where's your white level test? And even on the gray screen, it should be a white level test. Where is it? You're not showing any solid white levels at all, period. There's no solid white levels anywhere on the screen. If you did a solid white level, your screen would have came up much darker. The Cinemax would have showed a much higher white level. So you're not showing any form of white. Well, actually, there's one area right here, right there. So you see how dark this paint came out? Black paint has the same reaction. But this is mixed with some little bit of white in it. But black paint has the same reaction right here. Now, if this screen was actually white, this would be much darker, much, much darker. But the reason why it's showing not much, that bad of a white level, because it's laying against a screen that basically is gray. That should have been done against a white screen, not like that. So this is where we have the interesting theory. Why is your screen dark here? Black screens remain dark, and no matter where you turn that in the room, but it's lighter here. Yeah, you definitely butchered yourself big time. You never, ever stick a screen against another screen without proper testing. Anybody can take a gray screen, a dark gray screen paint mix, even the UV. The UV would produce better images than this right here. Look at that. Look at the difference between this and this is supposed to be its top screen. It's supposed to produce a contrast level. If this screen had that capability to produce a contrast level that dark, it would have been able to blend into the screen with no problem. So I don't know why you're doing this demonstration right here to begin with, because now this demonstration proves nothing at the end of the day. Because you have the lights out for this one to show the screen's contrast levels. But with the lights on, that screen couldn't produce jack next to that gray screen paint product. Now, if you notice the switch up, right? In the demonstration, he had the 720p projector when he was doing the demonstration, right? He had all the lights on. He had the gray mix up there. The gray mix was producing better contrast. It was producing better color next to the Cinemax. Cinemax is supposed to be having the ability to produce contrast levels equal to darker screens, but yet it couldn't produce proper contrast levels or colors next to a screen that was like semi-black, like more like a dark gray. But now he's doing a demonstration here where he's doing a contrast demonstration where he's using the P2 projector is utilizing the contrast capability that the projector has, which just is much more advanced than the projector he was using in the last demonstration. And in this demonstration, the environment is completely in the dark to be able to push his contrast levels. Cutting corners again, that's what he's doing. Why didn't you do this demonstration on the 720p projector and do that in the fully lit environment and do that the same way you did in the other one? Well, now you're trying to sell the customers that this screen produces amazing contrast too. Well, the problem is that this one's in the dark and this one's using a different projector. So why don't you use the same projector using the other demonstration and put it in the same amount of lighting that you had in the other one? Because it wouldn't have worked, it would have washed out. See? It would have just easily just washed right on out. Color's washed out here, and the white levels are dirty here on the screen. Perfect example. See right here? Contrast level being displayed on the darker screen. On the Cinemax, washed out completely. Can't pick up contrast. But yet he has a demonstration in the dark. If the Cinemax had such amazing contrast levels, why is it in the dark during the demonstration? You should have that in the fully lit environment using the exact same projector. Cutting corners. And in this demonstration, I see you're clearly trying to show that your product produces the exact same level as this in here. It does, and if you can't prove that your screen isn't actually, it has to be actually black. And what I've seen in the demonstrations, that screen's not black, it's actually kind of a very dark gray. That's why you need to do the black paint demonstration. Now, if you notice his camera's on a slant. Why is your camera on a slant? Your camera needs to be in the front like this so they can see this. Because clearly right here, you can see where the watermelon is too dark here and it's lighter here. But then again, the color's off on so much. It's not even a proper color. One's too dark and one is too light at the same time. And there's those dirty edges right there. Those dirty edges. How is this, man? Yeah, I don't know what you got going on in this demonstration, man. All right, I'm done. Yeah, I don't get it. I don't know what you're doing. You're doing, like I said, you're just basically you're not doing your demonstration. You're cutting so many corners. There are so many corners cut in this. It's just not even right. And I'm trying to figure out why in the world is your screen dark here, but the minute you bring it over here, it turns light. That doesn't even make any sense. Oh my goodness, I swear. I've never seen a more complicating, confusing demonstration in my life. Like really the most, seriously, that is the worst thing I've ever seen. Well, like I said, at the end of the day, you cut your head off completely. Because now, like I said, since you can't do the testing, we've seen 3 of the demonstrations under that black screen. None of them are displaying any form of black paint whatsoever. And this one was a challenge. This is the first challenge we gave him. So this is supposed to be a jet black fusion mix versus simple black. First of all, at the end of the day, we didn't ask you for that. We asked you for a black on black demonstration, your product versus black paint. You didn't even do that. And which one of these is a simple black? Because this one right here is absolutely horrible. None of these screens, only one screen is black. So if we go back to here, which one of these screens, this is black. That's clearly black. That's not black. So if you're trying to say that this is your product versus another dark product you made, that's not black. That's not even dark gray. UV is actually darker than this. I don't know what this is right here. I don't know what this is. This is not even in gunmetal. That's not even gunmetal at that. This right here is black, right here. But look how dirty that comes up. That is really dirty. So I don't know what this is. Is this supposed to be your jet black fusion? Because that's really dirty. And this right here is not even black. So that's not even counted as black. Yeah, did you do any white levels on this? Any white levels at all, period? Do you have any white levels on this? That's really, really bad. For a black screen, that is absolutely awful. Absolutely awful. You're not, this is your product right here. Oh my goodness, man. That's even worse. At first, I thought that was black paint. I literally thought that was black paint. I'm doing it side by side, which don't even match anyway. But if this is your product that you're claiming, that thing is really, really dirty. That thing wouldn't even pass under a white level test. And this is not even black at all. This is actually gray. I stand correctly. Look how bad that looks. That looks absolutely awful. So you're claiming this to be the, I hope that's not the jet black fusion. And if that is just simple black, both of these screens don't match, number one. I know this is a long, I can't, this is bad. I mean, this is the worst thing I've ever seen. How is this supposed to be? I don't even get this, man. I don't know what you're doing here in this demonstration. This is so freaking confusing. This is not even black. That's gray right there. This is black right here. The color and white levels on this are absolutely horrible. Look how dirty the images are coming up. That's absolutely horrible. If that's your idea of a black screen, that is really, really bad. Look how dark that comes up right here on this right here on the glass. That is really, really awful. Look at this. Look how dark that is. Look how dark that comes up right there. That is horrible right there. I don't know what in the world you're calling this. I don't know what in the world you're calling that. Only one of the screens on there is black. Only one. The other two, sorry about that, are not black. They're not. They're actually gray. They don't even match. And where's the black paint in the demonstration? There's no black paint in the demonstration at all. So you still can't show a comparison of your product versus black paint. That is absolutely awful. Yeah, that's bad, man. That's the worst thing I've ever seen. I don't know where you came up with saying that this is supposed to be, this is black, but I don't know what this is right here. That's not black. That's not black, and that's not black compared to that. And that color right there is really dirty. All right, people, I'm exhausted on this. I'm really exhausted on this. This is just, man, it's the most confusing demonstration I've ever seen in my life. It's just simple and plain, very easy to the point. You show black liquid in the paint, you show black liquid in your product, you pour them out, you compare the two as in both being dark, you paint the black paint down, you put it against the screen, you show a solid white level, that's it. All this is not necessary. This is done, you have to cut corners, and you're just basically just doing things you should not be doing in your demonstrations at all, period. That is absolutely horrible. Oh, man, that's bad. I'm coming out of this real quick. I'm going back. I got work to do. But that's actually awful. All right, people, with that being said, I'm going back into my channel. As I said before, you know, with the technology we're developing under Phantom and darker screens, you know, the Phantom was designed to be tested against everything. And that's what we want for the screen. We want to test everything, whether it be certified screens, whether it be screen paint products. But you can't test against something that hasn't been proper tested, right? And that has not been properly tested at all, period. It is missing a great deal of the test demonstrations that we put Phantoms under all the time. So I don't know what's going on with that, but I got to go. Thank you all for your time, and God bless. Wow, that is awful.